Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Mages of Pleasant Valley. I am joined here today by my lovely friends. How about we introduce ourselves, Kiana, Crusader, and Carter?
Hiya, I'm Kiana Cardinal, Mage of Fluve and Scarlet Scholar. Uh, I'm here to floosh.
And who are you?
Oh, I play Gemma Linguini, faithful nun to the local church, and all around cool person.
Crusader.
I am Crusader Corrupted. I play Anthony DeLuca, the friendly town baker who currently doesn't have a bakery.
Working on that.
We're getting there. We're getting there. And then Carter.
I'm Carradine. I play Nicholas Bassett, the savior of this poor town, hopefully, and doctor and reluctant possible cannibal.
That's always the cherry on top there, isn't it?
Yep. Well, it's got to be said, just never in game.
All right, guys. And let's see. Should we get the Nicholas Bissett breakdown of what happened last time and then maybe have Anthony or Gemma fill in for the parts where he wasn't there?
Yeah, you can do
Sounds
that.
good.
Well, I think Gimmo liked us to roll for a random person. We wanted to do that as well, but let's see. We had a week of downtime, which is very nice. A
Mhm.
whole where we weren't being, chased by ghosts or something. Got the bakery worked on. I had a client that I helped. I believe Gimma spent the week reading books, and Anthony started lying to everyone more than he already had. After that, I think we all decided spontaneously we're going to do some more research at the library about our good dead friend Henrietta.
Yes.
Uh,
It was pretty nice of you to all meet up in the same place.
yes, it's totally accidental. And has nothing to do with Gemma having literal, godly input.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by godly input? It's not like I have a trait called blessed or anything that just decides to do things. You
No,
know?
not at all.
Oh, totally
But
not.
anyway, at the library, we found out that all the records about the time we're researching were conveniently set on fire. You know, as you do, does not at all make us even more suspicious about the good Father Morris being a terrible murderer. But after that, we came to the conclusion that we were just going to have to search the woods and find the cabin. So we went on a shopping spree. We bought Gemma the first clothes she had that wasn't a habit, along with apparently the only socks she owns that aren't thin and weak. Did we get you anything else, Gemma, besides your entirety of your clothing line from the next fall?
Just the clothing line, as far as I remember. Yeah.
And so we hit the woods. Immediately came upon the "do not go this way" trail and decided, yep, that's where we're going to go. Uh, the lawbreakers that we have become see a thing that says "don't go there," and that's just what you got to do. Then I believe it was it Gibba that noticed the strange problem, or was it Anthony that noticed the space loop first?
Anthony noticed the space loop first, but then Gemma later on noticed the shimmer.
Yes, the
Mhm.
shimmer. So we got stuck in a looping, Mobius strip of forest, basically. which was very interesting and very cool. At least Nicholas thought so. Everyone else seemed to decide that they just wanted to leave when, you know, we found out what was going on instead of using our adventuring science to overcome this obstacle. And as hubristic punishment for that, Gemma and Anthony got attacked by a bear.
Yep. Factual statement.
I feel like this retelling is slightly biased.
It is
I
completely
can-
biased.
I cannot be anything but what I am. This
Yeah,
is all
extremely biased.
entirely in Nicholas's point of view, except for the parts where he wasn't there for.
Mm.
But
So we
would you
go
guys like
through
to
this.
talk about your fight?
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't just a fight. We went through this time bubble to get to the other side after realizing that maybe we're a little bit out of our element and we could use a little guidance because we don't even know if we're going in the right direction for what we want.
Really?
So me and Gemma, we walk through and we're sitting there, and then some hikers, they go running by, shouting that there's a bear, and we should run. It's the smart thing to do.
But what did you do instead?
We waited for our dear friend Nicholas because he could be coming through that portal at any moment.
You don't know me very well.
And we didn't want you to stand there face to face with a bear all by yourself.
Which happened anyway, by the way.
Yep.
So, listen, intention and what actually happens, they can be two different things.
I appreciate your camaraderie, my good friend.
Now,
Come
what
ahead.
happened though, because we were waiting, we were face to face with a bear. And Gemma might be able to outrun a bear. I cannot. And she stood fierce and in front of it, ready to meet it head on. And I couldn't just let her face that bear alone. So I stepped up as well and went right into a force field.
Yep.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like in normal circumstances, Gemma would have been able to do something there. However, she kinda hecked up her magic a lot, so she was crippled from the start of the fight. And quickly she realized, this is an awful idea. And originally tried to get away from the situation, but that proved not possible. So, Anthony, you had to fight the bear.
Well, I know I'm not that great in a fight. But I know I've seen Gemma. She can pick up bookcases like with ease, almost single-handedly.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this is fine. I just need to run a little bit of distraction. She can fight the bear. I'm sure she could just one punch knock it out. Didn't realize that she was going to be incapacitated and losing her boots while I fought a bear with a cleaver.
We know how close to death she must have been if she lost her boots.
Oh, yes.
First time she's ever worn them, too.
Mhm.
But with a couple of quick strikes of lethal precision with a cleaver, I made that bear run away in fear. And then I looked up, and there was Gemma, with beautiful white fur.
Heck.
It
Yeah.
was lush.
Please tell us about this wonderful transformation.
Basically, what happened was at the start of the fight, I already had an enchantment upon my right arm for increased strength, which I had used earlier, and I attempted to also bolster the speed of my legs. However, I hecked that up. So, the life magic that I was using went wild and decided, you know what? I'm a polymorph these limbs into rabbit limbs. Let's go.
Not
And
only that, but you're also the mage with the only amount of paradox no Anthony has. Anthony has one paradox, but you had more paradox than others.
True. I do.
Anyway.
Uh,
To be fair, she does use her magic more than the others.
I am very liberal with my magic.
Mm-hmm. A
Not
floosy
very
floop
subtle.
foosher.
Mm-hmm. Lots of whooshin'. It's understandable, especially with how Gemma sees it. It's not really something as taboo, I suppose. At least in her eyes. But yeah. And that was concerning to her. She was afraid she was gonna have to fess up her mistakes, but after some sage
Consequences
advice
for your
from
actions. God forbid.
heck you. Uh Point is though, after calming down a little bit, she was able to revert the process and everything's fine. Kind of. She still has 2 points of paradox. That in that I assume that as more paradoxes happen, it's just gonna get worse.
That's a fair assumption.
Mm-hmm.
After they courageously drove off the bear, who I don't believe no one mentioned was already hurt from being caught in a bear trap.
Well, yeah. Well, the original plan in Gemma's mind was to restrain the bear and then ask Anthony to untrap the bear. However, we kind of lost the advantage to be able to do that. So,
Hmm.
He did manage to drive it bravely away
uh-huh.
as Nicholas finally came back searching for his friends who had abandoned him in the woods all alone. Uh, he heard the rumblings and growlings of an injured bear coming towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And he did what every, I believe, person in his situation should do, and didn't stand there and wait for it to come and eat him. He moved into the woods and hid, and it ran by him. You know, as, as you are wont to do, rather than standing bravely to be run over by. How big was it? 400 pounds or so? Five
Yeah,
hundred pounds.
it was big. It was a big one. He's a big boy.
Yeah. So he hid. It ran past, and then he went and helped his friends up. Helped them to the car where they could finally get some rest after their brave, some might say reckless heroics.
And I do believe that catches us up then. I think there's one thing that I think was pretty important that should be mentioned. Kiana, or Gemma, I'm sorry. Gemma, you left the woods with something additional that you didn't have when you first got there. What was it?
That is correct. I did receive a business card in my pocket from a certain someone who is quite gave a friendly reminder that we are not supposed to be there.
This
And
person,
we're going to follow up on that. Oh, that would be Margaret,
yes,
our
Miss
wonderful.
Margaret Williams,
Yes.
the bane of our existence,
Uh-huh.
the,
Our lovely bank manager in town who we're now probably going to go harass.
the breaker and entering of the church, dealer of teacups.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So, with that, you guys are now in the parking lot of the woods. You have returned back to the classy beset vehicle that drove you there. What are you guys up to now?
I believe we promised the good father that we would get Gemma home so she could get to, church the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I mean, if anyone wants to object to that, feel free.
I
Otherwise,
mean, it's do we want to go to the bank at night or during the day?
I mean, you are free to convince Nicholas, but it's going to be a hard role to get him to try to break into the bank again,
I mean, if
or
you guys
to talk to Miss Williams at all ever.
You don't have to say a thing. I got it.
if you
She's
guys
really nice.
if you guys want, a decent idea could be um actually, Iori, would you would I know if uh Miss Williams actually came to uh last week's reception?
She did not. No.
Ah, perfect. So I would know that, and I would know that there would be less people who might drop by the bank. So maybe while I'm doing the reception, Nicholas and Anthony could go to the bank. Maybe
But
that
then
makes things a little bit easier.
you'd miss out on the food that I promised Anthony was going to create and fix.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's
Mhm.
kind of the whole trying to get the father not to wonder what we were doing out in the middle of the night again.
Well, I suppose we'll have to figure out how we're going to go about that then.
Then
I
I
s-
guess we're just left with all going to the bank together to speak to Miss Williams after the service. And of course, Nicholas, I hope to see you at service since you were talking to the father.
yes, I specifically promised you would be there. And since you've already stolen my car once, I suppose you can just do it again. But
I
for
could.
tonight, I believe we are getting Miss Linguini home.
Correct.
So, do we get accosted on the way? Dot dot dot.
No?
Huh?
Yeah.
No, that's good. All right. So we will
Okay.
return to the church.
All right. You
Wish
you get there,
Miss
and
Gemma.
of course, Father Andrew's car is already gone for the night. It's
Oh,
pretty
good.
late in the evening, and he's already returned back to his residence.
No, I wonder if he's ever going to think that there's something going on between us if we keep her out late at night all the time.
What are you trying to insinuate with that?
I'm not insinuating anything.
That you're the Dead Body Finder Society.
Sure, we'll go with that. It's not the first dead body we found.
Ow.
Anyway, assuming that Gemma doesn't cause any explosions of the fountain or anything, we'll probably just
What?
leave her to
No.
go. Does she have teacup with her?
Yeah, of course.
He didn't
Mm-hmm.
get broken in the bear fight. Wander off into the woods on his own. Anything like that?
Nope.
All right.
Still
Well,
in
good night.
still in her pocket.
Have a good evening and a good morning and all that.
Oh, yes.
Bye.
You as well. I will see you both tomorrow at reception. Yes, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Of course. I
Ah,
mean,
wonderful.
Nicholas has to drive me here and is so friendly with father that I believe he'd be expected.
Expected,
Of course.
but whether I'll show up is a different story. I believe I have some paperwork that needs to be done. Like, the bakery isn't going to build itself after all.
Yes, but that can wait. You don't want to be doing paperwork and work on the Lord's day.
I very much disagree. But we will talk later. We need to get home before it gets too late and we keep Gemma up.
That is true. Have a good night, Gemma.
And you as well.
You return to the inside of the church where everything is humdrum. Uh, perhaps. But first, I need you to make a perception awareness check at difficulty 9 for me, Gemma.
I love these random
Okay.
perception
There,
check.
there's some nonsense going on, but all right. Difficulty 9. Jeez.
Yeah. The best
Bro,
part is
what?
it could just be
What?
nothing.
It's it's
What?
happening.
Holy
The teacup is
crap.
making its move.
Okay.
Nice roll.
You have a sense that there's something going on with that card.
Huh?
It doesn't
I
feel right. Something's nagging you about it.
hmm. I'll go ahead and take it out. It's best to trust my intuition. Do I see anything different about it?
Visually, no. It doesn't look any different. It just kind of is giving you a feeling.
A feeling. I'll pull out my crucifix and I'll close my eyes and go, I really hope you aren't trying to do something weird through this.
Alright, give me an arete at difficulty 4.
Oh, that is a 0. Okay.
Mm. So you pull out the cross and you close your eyes, and a little bit of that golden fluttering is outlining yourself as you look down, but then the vision kind of fades away immediately. But that the card is still giving off a like constant uneasy feeling to you.
How bizarre. There's something up with this. I can't put my finger on it, but why is this making me so anxious?
Burn it. Burn it in the whole church. It's the only way.
I don't know. I don't think there's any reason for me to do that. After all, it's like, sure, there's like a theory that Margaret can actually like spy on us through these cards, but would I actually care about that?
Would you trust Nicholas's paranoid instincts in what the card does?
You know, that's a good point. I'm not sure. Hmm.
On the one hand, you hate him. On the other hand, he's never been wrong yet.
It's a fair point. My inner thoughts.
Now, is it the beset angel or devil on your shoulder?
Now that's the question. Oh, well, it doesn't seem like I can figure anything out about it tonight. I'll I'll put this in somewhere in safekeeping. Let's say in like a bedside cabinet or somewhere.
Okay.
Just
Um,
put it away. We'll
as
get into
you
it
as
later.
you move up to your room upstairs, the uneasiness kind of fades away from you as you move up towards your room. It's still kind of giving off that same feeling to you, but it's a little lessened once you're upstairs in your room.
Hmm. It's not as strong. Hmm. That's a thought. Perhaps it's the perhaps it's some sort of magical influence. Could be more active? Maybe? Shouldn't speculate on it whenever I can't even see anything. I'm just tired. I need a rest. I'll go ahead and enter my quarters.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and put everything up and get ready for bed. It's been a long day, or at least as long as a day can be whenever you've been attacked by a bear.
All right, Anthony and Nicholas, you guys head on home. You come inside. The broken picture frame of your mom is still a reminder of the events that have recently transpired. But
Uh,
otherwise, your house is relatively unchanged.
Poor mother. It's good that no one's broken into the house or burnt it down or exploded the front entryway again or I don't know, overgrown it with vines or something.
I mean, there's still time.
Turned it into an MC Escher painting.
Is there anything you guys want to do before you go to head to bed?
Um,
Clean my cleaver.
Yeah, probably.
Contemplate dosing Anthony so he oversleeps and I don't have to go to church.
But then there wouldn't be any food.
I mean, it's not my fault.
I mean, you're the one that promised it.
It is true. But no, I don't think I'm gonna do too much more. Uh, it has been a harrowing experience for the other two, so I figure maybe I'll just let them have this once. You don't want to push him too hard after he's almost been eaten by a bear.
I'll polite and considerate of you.
Maybe I'll even consider fixing dinner if I knew it wouldn't drive him insane.
I'm not sure if anyone would cook for Anthony.
Yep, we'd probably kill them if they tried.
Yeah. The McDonald's was way too much. That was too much of a risk.
Yes. Let us order in McDonald's from our hated enemy.
We had to do the research, okay? Sometimes you just got to do it.
She's too cunning. I couldn't figure it out yet. But I'll let him wish him good night and head to bed and lock my door.
All right. Anything from you, Anthony?
No, that'll be it. It's quite an experience. I'm pretty exhausted. I not only did I strike at a bear, but I also blocked a strike from a bear.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Then
I think it's time for bed.
everybody give me a roll on your d20.
Is that slash roll 1d20?
Yep, or you can go to the little die over there and just roll a d20 on there.
My first bad sleeping experience.
Gima.
Are you muted, Gemma?
Gima. You got the roll d20. Oh, very nice. All right, Anthony. You have a really pleasant dream. You are out in the woods with Gemma, and you're walking down the trail, and in the other direction is this bear wearing a little fishing hat and a backpack on his back, and he's got a little monocle on his face, and he's just lumbering down the trail. And as you walk by him, he tips his hat to you and just keeps on walking. And you don't think much of it. And that's how most of your dream plays out. Kiana, you are having just the most wonderful dream. You're running through the woods, the sun's shining, and oh, there's so many carrots for you to eat. It's so delicious being out here in the wild, free of all care. Oh, it's just a really refreshing, relaxing dream. Nicholas, you kind of had a rough night. You don't have the most pleasant dreams. You don't have a coherent line going through the whole dream. Like you don't remember the whole thing, but little splotches here and there of you hiding in the woods as there's some kind of big beast out to catch you. But you keep on going in circles again and again, and you find yourself in the same place hiding again with the same monster running by that you never quite catch. And it's just very anxiety driven, but not the worst.
Does that mean I don't regain a willpower?
No, you'll still get it. It's still restful enough,
Okay.
but it wasn't the most relaxing sleep you've ever had. That's for sure. However, the sun comes up on this blessed Sunday morning. It's time to get to work, guys. Gemma,
Hmm?
we'll start with you.
Yeah, okay. I get up out of bed, yawn, have a weird hankering for carrots. Not sure what that's about, but hey. Well, I'll go ahead and reach into my bedside table and grab that business card again.
Mm-hmm.
I still feel anxious about it, or no?
Yeah, it's still giving you that lingering feeling of anxiety
Giving
as
me the
something is off.
heebie-majeebies. Well, I suppose the safest place to keep it is, well, on me. Just in case it does something. I don't know. So I'll put it up and I'll get dressed and head on downstairs. Getting ready for service.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Father Andrew is already in the building. He's unloading his truck. He's brought in a whole bunch of chicken breasts from the market, some fresh green beans, a bunch of fruit, various grapes and apples and whatnot to be served at the post-sermon lunch. Hopefully someone can cook it up for him because he goes on and on about how he doesn't know what he's gonna do, but he felt bad about what he had to provide for Anthony last time. This time, though, I think we'll have a great meal. What do you think, Gemma?
Oh, with such a bountiful harvest, I'm sure that we will have a wonderful meal, Father.
Yes, we will fill their bellies and hopefully their souls too.
That's the plan.
Well, it's almost time for us to open the doors. Let's get ready. And Anthony and Nicholas, how does your morning start?
Read by waking up.
Yeah,
Well,
that's usually how it goes, sure.
I guess it depends. If we have a lot of time before we should be getting over to the church, I would make some breakfast, but we should get to the church early so I can start prepping the food.
Perhaps some bear claws.
Perhaps.
You got any apple fritters? No, we don't have apple fritters. Okay, well, then, no, nothing impedes your journey to the Pleasant Valley First Catholic Church.
I'd be at the Catholic Church. But, alas,
When you arrive, of course, cars are lined up on the street, stretching all the way down as every single geriatric family and couple and even the singles in the area have arrived for their souls to be refilled and recharged by the great sermon from Father Andrew. We're able to park somewhat down the street and get in there. Father Andrew, when he sees you, he breaks away from some of the people he's talking to and says, "Ah, Nicholas, Anthony, welcome, 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 welcome. How great to see you here on this wonderful, blessed Sunday morning."
And it is wonderful to be here as well.
Now, let me direct you to the kitchen, because today I don't feel as ashamed as I did last week, my boy. Take a look at what we've gathered up here. And he gestures grandly at his collection of chicken breasts and veggies and fruits. Hopefully you can make something out of that for us, right?
Oh, I believe everyone is going to eat very well today.
That's excellent. Now, I won't get in your way, but of course, if there's anything you need while I'm not up at the podium, then feel free to ask, and I shall try to give.
That is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
And Nicholas, I know last time you were helping out in the kitchen, but it would be lovely to see you out in the pews this Sunday. I have a very riveting sermon to give.
of course, Father. I'm sure I can find a seat somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't hold you up any further. I've got about 10 minutes before the sermon needs to start, and there's a couple more hands to shake and ears to chew off. And he walks away. So, for your food preparation, let us get a dexterity cooking roll at a difficulty 8. Everything You got plenty of equipment and stuff here.
Okay. Difficulty 8. Rolling. That's a
Satisfactory.
success.
Yeah, there were several ones in there. It's kind of scary. But yes, you are able to prepare a fantastic meal. And while you're doing that, Father Andrews gives a sermon about friendship and camaraderie and what it means to live your life for other people. About how when Jesus was traveling through Israel and spending his time, he was not spending it with those in the church. He was not spending it with the royalty. He was with the common folk, with the sinners, with the tax collectors, with those that had been left behind by the rest of society. And we should all aim to live our life that way and to spend time with the forgotten so that they may have a chance to be elevated from that post. It is what Jesus would have wanted. And after a few uh poorly sung songs by the congregation with very little rhythm to them, they are able to finally close out the sermon with a prayer and head to the kitchen for some food.
I take a level of bruise damage for my ears.
Not that
Wow.
bad. Not that bad. However, I'm going to need Gemma to make me another perception awareness check at difficulty 9 again.
Okay, I shall make such a check.
Okay,
Ooh, okay. That
it's
one
fine.
that one I fail.
That's fine. The lunch goes off amazingly. Again, people are gushing to tell you about how great the food is, especially compared to weeks in the past, and how they're probably not going to be stopping at McDonald's before church next Sunday so that they have more room for Anthony's delicious Sunday lunches.
Yes, the plan is coming together.
Yes. We get them hooked now. And then we like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't be here. I'm gonna be over at my restaurant all day.
Mm.
It's the only place you can get this food now.
Oh, and in between stuffing their face, when's that opening, by the way?
Oh,
Mhm.
hopefully very soon. There's some paperwork we still got to get done. The remodeling and everything, it's been going extremely well.
I am rather excited to see how the grand opening goes.
As am I.
Well, I will mark it in my calendar then as soon as you have a date. I would love to come get your food directly. Thank you so much, Anthony.
Thank you. Always a
Uh,
pleasure to feed the appetite.
One of the families that is there is the Landons.
Oh,
Oh,
I
the
believe
people you tried to accost about their daughter
no, no, no. I
randomly,
hold on. Isn't the Landons the parents of
Josephine.
Josephine.
is it Josephine? Okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I got them confused with the parents of.
No,
Okay, never mind. Haha. Oh, right. I need to talk to those two at some point.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Because you had
Gonna
mentioned you were going to see them at the next service, and they are there. But they aren't approaching you. They may have caught a glance of you, but they aren't approaching you.
go, Gemma, go.
Oh, I will approach and I'll just say, it is a pleasure to see you have come. I hope you enjoyed service, as well as the wonderful food made by my dear friend Anthony.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. Yes, Christopher was just telling me that he was really enjoying Anthony's meal. If you know him personally, please tell him that we enjoyed it and we hope to taste some more of it again. It's really nice to have something fresh made that I didn't have to make myself.
Of course. I'm rather excited to see his bakery open soonish.
Oh, he's has a bakery that's going to open. How exciting!
That's correct, yes. I'm rather excited to see what he's able to do with it. If it's anything like what he's been able to do for services, I think it's going to be wonderful.
Oh, I agree. Well, we were just finishing up and heading out, but thank you so much. It's always wonderful to stop by here on a Sunday and see you all.
Of course. I look forward to seeing you here next week, and I hope that you have a blessed time until then.
Mm-hmm. And Christopher puts his arm around her and gives you a little head nod, and Sophia and Christopher Landon head out the door.
I give a polite smile, and internally I'm like, you absolute coward. How dare you? Uh,
Otherwise, the rest of the service goes well, and after everyone's eaten their fill, a couple of the people volunteer to stay behind and help clean up the kitchen since Anthony and Nicholas did a lot of the prep work ahead of time, and then, Anthony cooked all that shit up on his own.
oh,
Oh, thank you so much. It was a great meal. Father Andrews comes up to you. Just delicious, delightful. I think the
Oh,
Lord is working through you, boy.
oh, but thank you, Father, for it was you who bestowed upon us this delicious food to cook.
Well, if I keep getting dues like this, we might be able to up the caliber of food that I've got. Although maybe I shouldn't if you're going to be opening that bakery. Let's not put competition on you when you're working two different kitchens.
Oh, of course.
No, no, you all. Thank you very much for joining me, but I think me and my handful of volunteers here will get this place cleaned up lickety split. So feel free, enjoy the rest of your blessed Sunday afternoon.
And you do the same.
Hmm. He rolls up his sleeves and he goes over to the dishwasher and starts packing things in there. So now, you guys have the day free to you. What's it gonna be?
Let's go to the bank because, they're normally closed on Sundays.
That is true, but are we going to assume she's going to be there?
I mean, she was the other night.
Yes, but she was also there because she had just stacked away the teacup in her hidden bank vault of magic.
Yeah, but I think she wants to talk to us.
I don't see why she wouldn't just call us if that was the case. Does no one in this town have phones?
I mean, she gave us her card.
Is there anything on that card other than get out of the forest?
No, that's basically the gist of it. It said you
I
do
mean,
not belong here, go home.
you know,
to me that's the same as calling.
that is accurate. I've actually felt kind of odd about that card lately, but
It is a card that randomly appeared in the forest and told you to leave, so that seems fair.
uh,
And if
yeah,
you don't feel good about it, then the faster we get rid of it, the better.
Have you tried setting it on fire?
no.
Cleansing it in holy water?
Wouldn't that just make it all soggy?
Just
Oh
send it
no,
through
it's
the
not.
dishwasher.
Mm,
Is holy
I
water more effective if it's sprayed at a high pressure?
I I don't know. Let's let's not try to weaponize the holy water. That'd be
May-
nice.
Maybe it depends on the application. Like just cleansing an area, maybe not. But if you're attacking a demon,
Was what holy water was for, other than blessing things.
yeah. Well, I mean, if you're blessing something with high velocity water,
Listen,
I don't think
holy
it's going to be any better or more effective.
listen, holy water is for many things. For blessing, for baptisms, for cleansing, for warding off evil things, for refreshing hydration. It's not important. It's something for a lot of things, okay?
What do you hydrate with holy water?
Uh
Holy sponges?
but myself?
You, you drink holy water?
Uh well, yes, it is the
Like,
I
like from the basin that everybody puts their hands in.
don't judge me.
Medically, it's not actually any different than regular water, as far as I know.
Listen here, sir. There is a difference. I, I mm, no, no. I'm not. Listen, I'm just saying. I, I don't have to
Are
explain
you?
this.
I mean, you don't. I'm more curious at this point. Like everybody's going around putting their fingers in there, and you're like you're just okay with drinking it.
It's holy water. It's.
Doesn't make it automatically clean.
Are you suggesting that holy water is unclean?
I'm suggesting that blessing water does not get rid of microbes that are inside of it. I have lab equipment if you'd like to go test this theory.
That is unnecessary.
That's what they always say when the scientists ask someone to prove a dumb point.
It's okay. If you haven't gotten sick yet, then I'm sure it's fine.
Of course I haven't. I've been drinking it my entire life.
So then maybe because it's holy water, maybe it is cleaner.
Makes sense to me. Of course, of course. Why did we even get on this conversation? We're supposed to be talking about Margaret, aren't we?
We're going to have to run a basic science class for all of you, along with the ethics class we need.
I mean, I'm just talking about the trial and error that experiment that was being performed, and that throughout her entire life, if she's been drinking it and hasn't gotten sick from it, then perhaps.
First off, we don't know if she hasn't gotten sick other than her own word. And secondly, a pool of one person does not make a empirical study. She could be immune to it for any other reasons.
Then you go around and find a bunch of other people who regularly drink holy water.
Ah, yes, and where shall I do that?
Exactly. We've got the one person. We can go off that information.
I-
I
You,
But I do think you're trying to stall from going to the bank.
am
what
I?
bank?
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm gonna need you to make a persuasion check.
You
So
two are welcome to go break into a bank on your own.
What do you mean? We don't have to break into a bank. It's the bank's open right now. What are you talking about?
not on Sundays.
Yeah, it's a Sunday.
Oh. Oh, right. Oh.
We just
Sorry.
had this conversation.
Hey, listen, I just kind of assume that, well,
Okay,
hmm.
Gemma's usually very busy on Sundays and doesn't have
Yes,
to go to
Yes,
the bank.
exactly.
as a person of the church, I understand how money is anathema to you, except for all those donations you take from people.
That's to that's to run the church.
That's what they always say.
And to feed the poor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, where do you think Father Andrews gets the money to pay for the food that gets served?
It's through donations, yes.
But I
As
do
are all
believe we
those
are
private
expected.
jets that the various church people own across the country and world.
Just because one serves the cloth does not mean they are exempt from sin.
That is probably the truest thing you have ever said.
Ah, thank you.
Now, please
Now to
have
the
a good
bank.
day trying to break down the bank's doors or whatever you're going to do. I have some work to work on.
Couldn't we just go to
Some of us
one
actually have a job.
I mean, this will be a really quick trip, and you could just drive us over there. It'd be fine.
It'll be just fine. Don't worry about it. We're just gonna talk. Probably. I mean, we could also just go to her house.
Which you know is where?
I don't know where it is. I thought maybe you would. Nicholas, you've lived here. Do you know where the Miss Williams estate is?
Probably.
So,
However,
uh-huh.
I believe you should just try giving her a call like a normal person.
And I think I've mentioned this before. Okay, what's her phone number? I'll go to the Rotary and call her. How about that?
I believe Anthony also has a phone. Do I need to buy you a phone? Probably need to buy you a
Well,
phone.
I mean, I can't have my old phone.
I'm certain I bought you a phone.
I don't know. Has he bought him a phone?
I imagine that came with all the other things.
Okay. Well, then in that case, okay. Yeah, I mean, I got a phone, but like,
You've
I remember this lesson about doors and Fushers, and I really want to, make sure we put this into practice.
I will not condone any whooshing of doors.
I mean, it's an example set by your own father.
Yes, and I will not condone any whooshing of doors.
Okay, fine. You can condemn the Fushing of doors, but just come on over with us. We might need your superior scientific intellect.
No,
We
hold
don't
on.
have my father here to intimidate her into not calling the police when you try to push her door.
I mean, I
Okay,
wasn't
but
going to start by trying to Fush the door.
couldn't we just like make an appointment? Would she accept an appointment? What if that's the what if we just make an appointment? Maybe she'd be more lenient about that, perhaps? Hmm? She seems like a woman that might appreciate that. Maybe? Hmm? I don't know.
Perhaps you could call this number, which I'm sure I have, as it's probably the bank I have to use while I'm here.
I probably will need a bank to set up a business account.
Then again, I can probably just get all the banking done over the phone and the internet. So, yeah, never mind. I don't think I'm going to use this bank. Screw Margaret. I'm not giving her my money in business. Are you there, Leonie?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
listening.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
I just thought I saw your mouth moving and I didn't hear you talking.
Go
No,
ahead, Anthony.
I was just waiting for an actionable moment. Otherwise, I'm not going to interrupt
Actually,
you guys
I,
talking.
I say we try the bank first. She'll probably expect us to try and show up there. And if not, then we go to her house.
We could just call ahead of time.
That's
I
that's
do like
that's
that
that's
idea.
boring and normal.
I mean,
I mean, okay,
that
look at what she did. She sent a card into your pocket
is
while you were
anybody
in a
here?
a ripple in
Is the
space.
church empty before we start talking about this?
I
huh?
I imagine you guys were like outside the church talking about it, but that's a fair point. Are you still in the church talking
No, I
about?
thought we were like leaving and trying to figure out
Yeah,
where we were going.
I thought
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
you were like outside or something like that. That's
Look, we've had Father Andrews sneak up on us once.
So what are you doing? What's happening, guys?
I will get in my car and drives slowly by the bank, and Anthony can jump out if he'd like to.
And Gemma's
That's
just along for the ride then?
That I am. I am here as Le Moral Compass.
Oh God, where's
All right.
yeah.
So, your car starts to roll by the bank. Of course, you see Margaret's car sitting outside the bank.
Oh, is it?
It
Damn
is.
Fascinating.
That means she's probably here.
Hey, who
Probably.
who was right about this one?
I think you were,
It's
yes.
still me. Well, feel free to jump out at any point.
Slow down just a little bit more. Yes, the fighting a bear yesterday really, my legs hurting.
Very well. Even though I asked you specifically if you were hurt and you said no, I will indulge you in stop in the bank parking lot.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll then get out of the car and go up to the bank.
All right. As you walk up to the door, you see that it's got a lovely new latching system on it since the last time you've been at these doors. And you also see through the darkness of the closed bank a lady in a very bright red suit and high heels click-clacking her way towards the door as if to meet you there.
Okay.
I wait for this greeting that I'm sure is going to be very warm and welcoming.
Yes, very.
You see her reach into a pocket and pull out a little key ring and grab one. She walks up to the door and unlatches it and then takes 2 steps back and turns around with her arms crossed and looks at you.
Oh god.
I'll open the door.
Hmm. Welcome. I was expecting you. Is it
Yep,
just the
just
2 of you this time?
the two.
Is Nicholas joining?
I'm pretty sure I made this clear that I was not going to go talk to her.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh,
Uh, yes, I suppose it is just the two of us. Hmm.
All right, get in.
well, thank you. Just the welcoming I was expecting.
Hmm. Before Gemma can even barely get through the door, she yanks on the little push pull pad, latches it tight and locks it behind you. Come to my office. She starts leading the way.
Okay.
I follow.
All right. Yeah, we'll follow.
So, on the way there, as she click-clacks through the dark bank, she asks you, so, what kind of nonsense were you getting up to out in those woods?
Only
Well,
the best kind of nonsense.
Hmm.
In
uh,
fact, it was possible that we could have come and asked you first for guidance, but I know that you want us to try and be more responsible. And so we tried to take care of it ourselves.
Right. You have just been the beacon of responsibility so far.
Well, thank you for noticing.
Hmm. I see that sarcasm is a language you don't speak.
I'm
She
pretty
gets
sure I'm very fluent in it.
she gets to her office door. She opens it up and leads you inside. It's a pretty nice, bright office. It's not very large, but you can see she's got a nice window to the outside and pretty bare space and just a big computer sitting there. She gets behind her desk and you can see her close a couple windows before she turns to you. I have to admit, you are a massive thorn in my side right now. especially you. She stares at you, Gemma. I need to know why you bothered to go to a place that not only is it legally restricted by, but you know that you shouldn't have been there after I told you not to be there.
Oh, this was open for all of us. Well, when you're investigating things that are deliberately covered up, generally the best place to look is the place where people don't want you to look.
And besides, admittedly, I will admit we weren't exactly certain where we should be looking for what we were looking for. We just chose a path. And Gebba's just gonna shrug a little.
You just chose a path.
I mean, yeah, you just got to go where fate's meant to take you.
Look, there are paths in the woods that you can walk down if you're going for a stroll. Whatever you're looking for is not down that path. There's a reason why people should not go down that path. There's an old abandoned mine there. I know neither of you have been in this town very long, but we've had a very long string of incidents where people think it'd be fun to go out to the mines, and then they get hurt, they cause problems, and then we need to have a rescue team show up. We need to have a whole bunch of hoopla. Someone from a town over comes by, and the next thing you know, you're on front page news for the whole state. We don't need that here. We don't need that kind of attention, and I don't need people doing it.
Well,
Okay.
one, I mean, if any of us were to get hurt, I mean, we have one of the best doctors in town always at our side.
No. Hold on, Anthony.
But I'm also not interested in the mind. I think we were looking for a house.
That's correct. We have no interest in a mine. We were looking for a cabin that was supposed to be out in the woods.
There's plenty of cabins out in the woods that have nothing to do with that trail that leads you to the mine.
Okay, so there's no cabins down that path. Thank you.
Well,
You're very
this
welcome.
cabin, we don't know what condition it's in. Maybe it's not there anymore.
I'm telling you, it's not a concern of yours. You should find a different trail to go on. Do not go down that trail again.
No, hold on. I mean, we could just ask if she knows where the cabin is. I
That
mean,
is true.
it, bear with me. I mean, I think you would be a lot more understanding about anything that we do if we talked to you first about it, correct? You
Highly
know?
doubtful, but try me.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying it would be better to talk to you than just try to spring something. Uh Anthony, if you would.
So we're trying to go to this specific cabin of the woman who was possessed.
Allegedly.
We're trying to investigate that a little bit more as there seems to be a lot of holes in stories and records.
In what world is that anything to investigate?
I mean,
You're
everyone needs a
listening
hobby.
listening to old stories, and it's getting you to go through the woods, down trails that are closed off in the middle of the night to find a cabin for someone from a ghost story. That's why you're out there?
Well, the reason why we're walking around aimlessly and didn't try to ask you for information that you possibly had was due to some people having an aversion to speaking to you.
Huh.
Yes. Well, some people know not to waste my time, I guess.
To be fair, those same people hmm, shrug again.
Look, I don't know what game this is. You keep talking about it being your hobby or just something to do in your spare time. You don't need to spend your spare time out in the woods. There's a reason why that is blocked off from you. Go find something else to indulge in. You're an artist of sorts. Take up painting. Do something like that.
Oh no, I really have no skill with a brush
Right, and
or
you
pen.
have no skill hiking in the woods either, apparently, so why don't you ditch that one for a new one?
I don't know. I thought I was pretty good at hiking, Gemma. What do you think?
I think you're serviceable. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
with more practice, you can do better.
well, if that's the case, how about you both just go take a hike then? And she stands up and points towards the door. I do have a lot of work today. It may be Sunday, but some of us have hobbies that don't involve wasting other people's time.
I mean, we're not trying to waste your time. We're just, you know,
Hmm? Then maybe spit it out.
We're trying to uncover what really happened then.
What really happened? When? Where? Who? Why? You're speaking in circles.
And I'll pull out the newspaper of that. Like this whole incident, the father, all of it.
She puts on some reading glasses, sits back down in her chair, and picks up the little newspaper clipping. And she puts it down, nose down, and looks at you. What does this have to do with anything? Why are you bothering with this? This is ancient news.
It it is, but
it involves Teacup. The book that Teacup pointed out, it had details about those events, but these newspaper clippings contradict. So we're trying to figure out which is the truth.
And what's that going to change? Let's say you go out in the woods and you find this mysterious cabin that you're looking for from, what is this, Henrietta person, whatever, from here. What are you going to do then? What's going to happen?
we look for more clues, more
For what?
evidence.
To what end? When you have a murder, you have a dead body, you have a puzzle to solve, you have something to look forward to, you know what's at the end, something to find. Right now, you've got clues to an enigma for which you don't even know the end. You're just hoping there's something at the other side? And what are you
Might
going to
not be.
dredge up along the way here?
Well, if there's things to dredge up, then that should also be looked into.
Just the mere presence of her, and apparently whatever she's tainted that book with has already brought one spirit bumbling out of the woods, potentially causing problems. Imagine what else might awaken out there if she just was wandering around. Perhaps you should just keep your nose out of it. Save us all a little bit of strife. Why don't you just enjoy Pleasant Valley for what it is?
And not pursue knowledge and truth. Just remain ignorant to the facts of what could be happening.
Sometimes that's the safe choice, Anthony.
It can be the safe choice, but that doesn't make it the right one.
Hmm. Well, I don't think I'm going to be lectured by some people that broke into the bank about what's right and what's wrong. I don't think you have the moral high ground to lecture me on that.
I mean, people break into banks. That's a little bit more common. People breaking into churches.
Yes, but much like how a firefighter has to break down a door to stop a fire from raging, sometimes when there's a spirit on the loose, you need to go in and collect it. I don't believe your acts were as nearly as noble as mine, were they?
Hmm, that's some good spin. I like that.
Again, find yourself a new hobby, Anthony. You're clearly out of your wheelhouse. And Gemma, please. I know whatever it is that Josephine's tainted you with has clearly gotten a grip on you, but don't let it leak out. I don't want to have to keep cleaning up her messes, especially when she's not even here to make them herself. This is just Josephine by proxy now.
That. I'm not trying to cause issues.
I don't believe she ever tried either. It just seemed to be a habit of hers. Behavior. I would hate to see you have to leave town as well. Especially since so many people seem attached to you so quickly.
I think I see what you're trying to say.
Great. Is there anything else I can help you two with today?
No, no, not if you don't have the knowledge, the information about where that cabin is. That's it.
Fantastic. I did expect something else from this meeting, but I don't think you've arrived at that place yet. So, until you do, and I'm sure you will at some point, please do me a favor and call ahead when you want to speak to me. The only reason I knew you were coming is apparently you don't mind having my card on you. If that's the case, please keep it on you. I don't mind. But I do appreciate having this time to myself, and I was expecting a little bit more. So now, please, leave.
Very well.
She gets up and walks back out to the front door, this time in poised silence. Aside from the click-clack of her heels, opens the door, again, steps back from it to let you let yourself out.
I walk out.
So do I.
And then she closes it behind you, latches it shut, and returns back to the dark, closed bank.
Well, that went very well.
Yes. We. I don't know about you, but I feel I got some clarification on things.
Possibly. If I was reading a couple of things correctly.
I think I was as well.
Well, let's
Question is,
go. Hmm?
what do we do now? Do you want to pick up a different hobby, or are
Oh,
you
hell
fine with
no.
hiking?
We still got to go hiking. We got to
Right.
prove that we're right. We got to prove that we're capable. We're not going to be bullied away.
Very well then. I guess we should maybe find a new trail.
I think so. Maybe we should try to look up some records with the town to find the actual location.
Well, that's what I was trying to bait out of her, but oh well.
So what now? And, before then, Nicholas, where are you cruising?
I was just sitting waiting for them.
Okay. Well, then, you would see Nicholas's car still sitting there then.
Well,
I figured it wouldn't take that long. I have no faith in my friends when it comes to Margaret.
Oof.
yeah, we'll get in the car.
Yep. Let's just get right in and relay.
Oh, did you pull the information out of her?
I think we were able to pry some pieces out. Yes.
Or what did you learn?
Oh, that trail is not the right trail for us.
And you believe
Regardless
her?
regardless of if she wants us to go down that trail or not, which clearly she does not, I don't believe that's where our objective is.
Why is that?
She's really focused on the mine.
And she seemed uninterested in the whole cabin situation.
Completely, like 100%, like it didn't even register. And he even said that there's not even cabins over there.
I mean, the cabin we're looking for was burnt to the ground, so
And we conveyed that.
Like again, it just didn't even register. Had no idea what else we could possibly be looking for except going to the mine.
should we go to the mine then?
I think
No.
that's another investigation later.
If she has no idea about the cabin, though, how do you know that it's not over in that direction? The news article said that it should be near that mine.
Near, but
But could be a
perhaps not
different
that
trail that's
way.
near.
That trail did a fork. We never did try out the other side.
No, we didn't get the chance. We
Because
got
the
stuck
fork
in a loop
didn't take us
of
down
space.
towards the area where we were going.
It's still near the area.
Well, if you want to do more research on it, feel free. I do not believe that she's told you anything, but I will defer to Nicholas or to Anthony and you at the moment if you want to go check a different trail out.
I do. But perhaps looking at some records first.
Did you ask her if there were bank records of the property at the time? Since it's the
We
only bank in
conveyed
town.
we conveyed desire of any information, and that was not going to be possible to receive.
So you didn't get any information about any of it out of her at all. Did you even ask?
I mean, listen,
Please don't tell me you were trying to be vague and foreboding.
I mean, it's one of the rules, isn't it? I mean, I'm just trying to prove that I fit into this community, and I
Please
gotta
stop
follow those
giving in to
rules.
terrible peer pressure, especially when there aren't peers pressuring you into doing it.
But more importantly, she does not believe in our abilities at all.
Why would she?
Exactly.
And why do we care?
Well, because we've done nothing to earn that trust or respect.
Why do
So,
we want her trust and respect?
because she
mean,
does have knowledge and is in this town, and that would
be-
be a lot easier to get to than calling your father all the time.
to
I
be fair, it also
disagree.
make our lives easier.
Yes, we should always work to be on the good side of whatever villainous power is in charge of the town. It makes
As-
everyone's life a lot easier, doesn't it?
As Nicholas is going off like this, I'm gonna just slowly draw the business card and hold it up.
Oh no.
I don't think
She now knows of my low opinion of her. However, will I survive?
Alright, if you're aware of it, then fine.
I'm pretty sure I've told her to her face that I don't like her.
Okay.
Probably about the last time we broke into the bank when I accused her of breaking into my car.
That's fair, I just wanted you to be aware of
Also, why are you carrying that around with you?
I didn't feel like I had anything to hide, in case what you said was accurate.
So you're going to prove to her that we are trustworthy and should be and are competent by carrying her card around as we talk about going against her wishes.
no. The wishes were not to go for hikes on those trails.
hey, we're gonna avoid that trail. That's the thing that she doesn't want us to do, is be on that trail. And frankly, it doesn't sound like what we want is even on that trail.
Once again, you believe her when she said that.
I how do I
Trust
word
but
this?
verify. Again, we look at the records and we find out exactly where we need to go.
Record she probably has in that bank. But I suppose we can go
Well, maybe
at
if you can
City
do so
Hall.
much better, then next time you should come with us.
I don't know. This is much more amusing.
Hmm. I see. I
Yes.
see.
City Hall, maybe?
Yeah, if they're open.
Place for public records.
Yeah.
Sounds
Wouldn't
right to
have
me.
been any sort of construction company. Not back then. Suppose we could just find someone really old and ask them.
Who would be so old as to? Hold on. I might actually know someone.
What?
Maybe not that comically old though. They are old.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. I
It was
mean,
what?
if we're... Huh?
How long ago was this again? Like 100 years?
Yeah, it was about 100
150
years, almost exactly.
Yeah, so even if they weren't alive specifically then, their parents would have been alive and probably told them about the whole thing. It was, a rather sensational thing to happen in the town.
That's possible. Do you guys want to take a trip somewhere?
It's better than sitting in this parking lot.
Sure. We have a gentleman we can visit then. If we
This
want
should be interesting.
information. I'll give the approximated address of that fine older gentleman
Yep.
that I had visited.
Next door to the Landons.
Next door to the Landons.
All right.
Let's see how this plays out.
I mean, you guys brought up the idea, and
I know.
yeah, this, I don't know, maybe something
Go.
comes out of it.
Sure.
Well, you head on over there. It looks like the Landons haven't made it back home yet. You don't see their car in the driveway, but the old man's house is unchanged from the last time you were there. Peeling paint and whatnot and all.
So, I would like to warn you too. The gentleman who lives here is a little crotchety and a little easily wound up. So, be calm, be courteous, just yeah. Go right ahead. Or maybe I should go ahead. You know what? I'll go ahead and do it. I'll be a familiar face. I'm gonna go ahead and knock on the door.
All right. Yeah. Hey, where is it?
It is Sister Gemma from the church.
No, the Mormons are back again. I told you I didn't want none.
I'm not a Mormon.
In this house, we believe in the Jesus. I love Jesus.
I too love Jesus, yes.
Well, it's about time you Mormons came around. He opens the door. Came around to it.
Yes, sir. Jesus is great.
Yeah. So what is it? I'm not getting on no bicycle with you and none of that stuff.
Oh no, we're not here to sell you anything. We were here to ask you for an interview.
Oh, an interview. Oh, gosh. I wasn't ready for this. Hold on. And he licks his hand and then goes to, slick back the hair that he doesn't have, and he just rubs mucus across his forehead, basically. Oh, is it? What? Yeah, you got the film and the crew here. I haven't been up on the big flickies in a long time. Oh God.
Oh yes, our dear
I mean,
cameraman Nicholas will be recording this interview. Yes.
and I will be taking notes on everything.
Oh gosh. Yeah, oh well. Let's do it on my porch. My house is just not ready for it. And he's leaned over with his heavily, like, I don't know if I'd call it scoliosis, but his back does not go straight. He's always in a leaned forward position as he comes outside with you guys and closes the front porch and gets on a very weathered, creaking rocking chair there. Not seeming to bother that there's no other seating arrangements on the front porch. Okay, I'm ready. So, wait, who are you?
I am Sister Gemma. Hi, hello. I'm from the church, and we.
Oh, hello, I'm Daniel. He puts his hand out, shaking a little bit as he reaches for you.
I will. Wait, is this the same hand I used to slick back his hair?
Yes.
Quote unquote. I will kind of pull my hand back a little so that I have the sleeve of my habit covering it, and I'll reach out and grab a hold. And I'll go,
Oh yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
yes. We wanted to interview you about the legacy of Father. Oh God, I'm blanking. Maxim?
Morris.
Morris. The legacy
Oh.
of Father Morris.
Oh yeah, Father Morris. Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they put that there, that monument next to that there fountain at the church. Oh, that was a really nice day. Back then, me and old, Clara and I were, two birds in the rug, and we were flying high in the world's our burrito. Oh man, I could tell you stories about back then. Oh yeah, there was the heyday here in Pleasant Valley.
When he starts talking and is going on about this, I would like to pull out a teapot. My teapot, I should say.
You just had a teapot on you?
Carry it in a satchel or something. I don't know. I have to carry it around somehow.
You mean you don't know?
Just
Figure I have to have it on me somewhere. Otherwise,
just-
I can't use it for anything.
you just Looney Tunes that out of your back pocket?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Hammers,
I mean, I
face.
don't have correspondence yet,
Yeah,
but
you don't have correspondence matches.
Well,
Look.
while he does that, I'm also going to pull out my clipboard, which
Oh.
I keep, in my doctor's bag, which I carry around with me, like,
Yeah.
A normal person.
Well, normal people don't have doctor's bags, so you're an
Well,
abnormal.
doctors have doctor's bags.
Maybe normal doctors, but doctors aren't normal people.
How dare you?
I have to question the teapot though.
Besmirch an entire profession of millions across the world.
The teapot though, come on.
if I had
you
like
have-
a satchel, it could be in there.
But do you? Did you before this point have one?
Yes, keep a
Not-
cleaver somewhere
not-
too.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, the cleavers
the-
have to be there, an egg timer.
It's just
I
a
wouldn't-
teapot is just significantly bigger than
It is a little
than
bit
those.
bigger.
I'll say that you can have like a little handbag with you or something like that. That's fine. Just tell me in the future if there's anything else that's gonna be in it before we get there, okay?
Will do.
Alright. What are you doing with this teapot?
Oh, I want to cast mind magic on the old man. I want to see his thoughts.
His deeper thoughts?
Did you get two dots of mind magic?
I do have 2 dots of mind magic.
Nice.
Well, I believe that means that you will be able to see some very surface level thoughts, if I remember correctly. I will double check that right quick. I don't know if you'll be able to get like specific thoughts out of it, basically.
No, but while he's being interviewed and things come to mind.
Come to mind. Let's see.
God.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Make your Aratea difficulty 5 then.
Okay.
Okay. So you can see that his mind is a little bit of a storm right now, as he's simultaneously trying his hardest to reminisce about the past and also dredge up memories he's not thought of in a long time. You can see that he's having a bit of a melancholy, remembering lost loves and a time gone by, a time of innocence and an age long ago.
Okay. Well, it's working.
Yes. That's good, Daniel. But do you... what did you hear about Father Morris? About
Oh,
his
yeah.
legacy?
Father Morris, he was, my mom and pa were always saying how he was such a nice man, they had this one time where I had the chicken pox real young, and they said that he came over and he prayed for me, and yeah, it was cleared up by the next day, and they said it was a miracle. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what we need these days. None of that fancy, the vaccines and the toxin in your blood, I tell you. We just need some good old Jesus power and clear that right up.
Yes.
My
Um,
eye just starts to twitch at that.
It sounds like Father Morris was quite the caring man. Do you remember if there was any controversy around him?
Oh, there people always talking about stuff that nobody ever can just be happy with it. They gotta tear people down.
Oh, how
No.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let me see. Father Morris, they always said he was a really nice man. I did hear some people say some stuff. It's hard to remember. Something that my old grandparents and them folks would sometimes say that there's a. Yeah, it's hard.
Involving...
Anthony, you can see that there's like, if there was a way to describe it, it would be as if you're looking through a tinted window. There's a lot of memories that are able to shine through it, but there's something beneath the tinting of that veil over his mind. Something's trying to come to the forefront, but it's having a hard time doing it.
Daniel, was there perhaps anything about a fire? A possession? A witch, perhaps?
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, they talked about that. Oh.
You can see it now coming to the surface with that revelation.
Oh, yeah. Now, they did say there's this terrible week here in Pleasant Valley. Every day it was bad news waking up to it, and it was just eating up the soul of the whole town. Oh, just terrible. They said that the hell itself had opened up here. Oh, demons walking amongst people, killing, and oh, it was terrible. Yeah, Father Morris, though, in the church, they were able to, they got rid of the demons. Folks said that he was very brave. Very, very brave. He went and he just stomped right up to the devil himself and sent him back packing. Oh, yeah, that's what they said. Father Morris is such a good man. Oh, what a saint.
I look back to Anthony and Nicholas at this.
This matching up everything in his mind.
Yeah.
So, you're saying that Morris himself personally dealt with demons?
Oh, that's what my pappy told me. He said that he just went right up to the devil and he gave him a good talking to, and the power of the Lord shone right through him. That's how you can tell he's a man of God, no doubt about it.
I see. Do you... But nothing about a witch?
Oh, well, I heard them say there was demons afoot. Witches, maybe. Now, they do like to show up where evil is congregating. Oh, so, yeah, there could have been a whole coven of them witches hanging around then. Now that you mention it, they might have been the reason that all hell broke loose in the first place. Oh, them witches, them pagans and them Mormons always causing problems.
On the subject, do you remember anything about a Henrietta? Was she involved with this at all?
Henrietta? No, I don't recollect a Henrietta. Was she one of them there witches then?
She was said to be a healer? Possibly living out in the woods? Apparently Morris had a encounter with her?
No, that doesn't sound familiar to me. It sounds like if there was any other healers, they would have been in the church with Father Morris. Back in my day, if you weren't feeling up for it, you'd go talk to God. You wouldn't go and sit in these little sterile rooms where they jab you full of chemicals and stuff. Oh, Lord, where are we going to these days, I tell ya?
I see. Are there any other notable stories that you remember about Father Morris? Anything exemplary about him or controversial?
Oh, well, the only things I really remember about them talking about Father Morris was when he just went right up to the devil and gave him a talking to. Although I do remember him saying that a lot of the times he would spend out by that fountain next to the church. He really liked that place, apparently. They say that God was working magic through there. No, they said that that's where he would do most of his miracles. He'd do his praying out there, and he'd have God come down himself and touch people and save their lives. They said it was majestic. Oh, what I would give to have seen it myself.
God working through the fountain. Wait, miracles? You're saying
Oh,
that
yeah.
Father Morris performed miracles?
Oh, yeah, they said he would do all sorts of things. It wasn't like Jesus, though. He couldn't make water to wine, or the people that were blind, they could go seeing, but, they're feeling a little sick. Father Morris gave them a prayer, and lookity sweat. They'd be right back up and working again. No problem. He was always ready to give somebody a good healing. They say that the power of light came through him. He might have been an angel himself, for all we knew. At least that's what my pappy told me. Oh, pappy. I miss him.
I'll reach out and give him a soft pat on the shoulder. I
No.
see.
I am curious about if you're ever going out into the woods. Was there possibly a location that you couldn't go to, a cabin or a site of a cabin that might have burnt down?
Oh yeah, back when I was a youngster, we always used to dare each other to go out there by the old abandoned mine. A lot of stories, a lot of fun ones there. Oh, Ricky. Oh, man, Ricky, we dared him to go down into the mine. And, his, his light didn't stay on, and he got trapped down in there, and boy, he was crying and wailing. Took him a couple hours for us to finally get him out of there, but boy, Ricky, we never let him down on that one. Oh, yep, that was good times, good times. Rightly though, as we go a little bit older, we decided that maybe as a town we should kind of close that off. It was a big problem, but you know how the youngsters are, they always want to go out there and cause a ruckus. As everything changes, they all stay the same. That's how it is. As for cabins, there's cabins out there. Some of them ain't been touched in a long time, quite a long time. I was thinking about going out there sometime before I kick the old bucket, just to take a look again. But I'm not even sure how much it stays the same.
Nature is always changing, but I think it is about time that we start wrapping up our interview. Do either of you have any other questions for the gentleman?
No, I believe that's it.
Nicholas?
While they're doing that, by the way, I want to use my life to get a kind of feel for what might be wrong with him other than old age, maybe. If there's anything specifically, diseasey or that sort of thing. Can I make a roll for that?
That is some perception of life, but I think that's a little bit extra. So, give me an arete at difficulty. Well, first of all, explain to me how you're casting this.
Oh, I was gonna stay a little bit out of his sight after, these haranguing doctors. But I'd use some of the tools in my bag to, pull some stuff out, keep listening to how he talks and the way he's bent forward, and it's mostly just gonna be a medicine check with a little bit of my life sight, hopefully to get a more pinpointing thing on how he's gonna do it, on how it looks, I should say. I just feel like he seems like he's got a lot of stuff wrong with him. And with his talk of faith healing and stuff, I just feel like I want to leave him with something after we're done.
Alright, do the arete at difficulty 5 for me.
Alright. Let's see. Pull that up. There you go.
Okay.
So I got 2.
So, you can see that, yeah, he is suffering from a lot of conditions that you would probably just attribute to generally getting old. His body is starting to look a little bit weathered from a health perspective. However, he's not completely lost to dementia or anything like that. He may have what you could describe as onset Alzheimer's and just kind of flips from one thing to another and kind of forgets at times.
Alright. Well, I'm going to kind of move around behind him and gesture to Gimma. Well, I believe Gimma, as a adherent of the church and successor to Father Morris's successor of himself, Andrew, would like to leave you with a little prayer and a blessing for you to help you feel better for all you've done for us. Isn't that right, Gimma?
Yes, that is correct. I serve now at the church and in the footsteps of Father Morris. Perhaps I could leave you with a prayer and
Perhaps you could
best of health.
bless him with some of that holy water you keep around as part of the prayer.
Yes, of course. I'll
And
take out my thermos and I'll pour out some of the holy water into the lid.
while she's
Oh.
getting ready to do that, and if she starts doing the prayer and stuff, I'm gonna kind of make another life roll this time to kind of shore up his body a little bit, cure any minor ills and the like. I want to spend a little time. I'll pick a couple things out of my bag that some various medicines and liquids that I'm gonna kind of mix together to put on him while he's being blessed, with the holy water and all that. So he won't really notice, or hopefully won't notice that I'm doing more sciencey stuff and not more religiousy stuff as I'm standing behind him. And yes, eyes closed, being blessed.
Oh, well, he goes, yeah, that's a good idea. Leave it in the Lord's hands. He bows his head down and closes his eyes and puts his hands in Gimma's hands. Still moist.
In voice.
I'll fiddle with my rosary for a little bit, kind of think to myself before saying, loving God, I pray that you will comfort us in our suffering, lend skill to the hands of our healers, and bless us with the means for cure. We are your children, and we pray for your gentle care. And with that, I will take the lid of holy water and I'll bring it up to his lips and kind of
He says calmly.
I'll gesture at her to kind of pour some on his head, so it covers up me rubbing a little bit of a cream on there and the like.
Yeah, I'll do that as well. Should I go ahead and roll Arete for this?
I mean, are you doing magic?
Kind of, yes.
Oh,
What do you-
okay.
I don't know what, but I'm gonna just a general prayer for health. I mean, that's what that whole prayer was for. Yeah.
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 Mostly for me to cover up me actually doing a thing, but yes.
Yeah.
Okay. If you're also doing a magic effect, you're just trying to give him good health, then we'll have you roll Arete at difficulty 5, and likewise for Nicholas.
Great. I'm gonna spend the willpower. I want to kind of focus on his mind since he's obviously having problems with that. So
Understandable.
healing the brain a bit.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Fucking yeah.
Yeah, we're
3 plus automatic willpower.
Look at
Yes.
us go.
So as the water trickles down his head and the cream is applied, can I also get a bit of a dexterity? What would be like sleight of hand here?
Dexterity.
Like subterfuge?
I think that's still
I guess
subterfuge.
so, yeah.
Yeah. Give me a dexterity subterfuge at difficulty 7.
Sure. Dex. Subterfuge. There we go. No. Difficulty 7. That's only a
Oh.
-1 though,
No.
because my 10s count as 2 successes
Yeah, with your
because
hands.
it's a hand.
Yeah. But still a -1, so.
Yep, he's definitely feels me touching him,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
So the water trickles onto his head, and then you apply the cream, and after saying amen, he then takes his hand up to his head and he feels the cream on there and looks at his hand. What are you doing? What was that about? And he stands up from his rocking chair, and you hear maybe like that.
Smacking his lips.
Yeah, his back popping as he stands fully erect for the first time, and he turns around and looks at you. You, what did you do? Was this a joke? Was this all just an elaborate prank on old Daniel here? Well, I never! Get off my porch! And he
Gasp!
walks in the
Nicholas.
house and slams the door shut.
That's good.
Damn Mormons!
That turned out better than I thought it would.
Oh, okay then. Alright.
Learned a little bit
Well-
more about the other cabins.
Yeah, we have. We learned some interesting things. I suppose you two were
What heck in total though? 11110.
I was reading.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
It doesn't matter so much that we felt that, though I assume it will make it a little bit more difficult to talk to him later.
I suppose so, but considering he seemed to have forgotten me from our first encounter,
Well,
maybe
if-
not.
What I did works out. He should have a bit of a clearer mind for a while, at least.
I see.
Okay, so wait a bit longer before talking to him again.
The poor old man.
What do you guys think about everything that he said?
It makes me
that-
believe that I was right still, and that what we're looking for is down the path she doesn't want us to go.
I'm not
No.
sure.
It sounds like Father Morse was a mage.
You should probably walk a little bit farther away from his house in case he comes out and starts yelling at us.
Around the corner, Father Andrews comes out. What were you saying just now?
God damn it, Father Andrews! Go get back in the car real quick.
I mean, it kind of sounds like maybe Father Morris was capable of doing what I'm more or less capable of doing. Although it sounds like he was a bit more advanced.
Oh, healing small sicknesses isn't very advanced.
Well, then the question becomes, why target this woman?
Why?
Well, if we know anything about mages, it's that they don't seem to like anybody else that is also a mage.
That's a fair point.
Given that Henrietta was considered a healer, perhaps they were in competition. And since he was
Rivalry?
religious and she wasn't,
I think you're onto something with that. Maybe there was a form of rivalry.
he said the fountain is where he did his magic.
The fountain does seem a lot stronger.
Out of character, did we learn about places of power and stuff? Nexuses? And ley lines?
Your father told you about, at least about nodes. So
Okay.
yeah, like basically ley lines and stuff like that. So sure.
So it sounds like the fountain is where he drew his power from. Perhaps there was another one in the woods.
Oh, you're onto something. If we can find, if there's like a rivaling area like that, somewhere where Henrietta drew her abilities, then we would know more or less where our cabin is. guess thing
Oh.
is, what's the best way of spotting it?
Probably some sort of whooshing.
I suppose
So,
so.
I think we know how to spot it.
Yes, but
We just have to get to the area.
hypothetical question. How far can you detect these kinds of things?
It's
Quite sure.
is that like out of character?
I'm asking in character.
I haven't tried to push my senses that way to any sort of great distances.
I guess now's a
Though
good time to try to.
I suppose we could go and set up. I have done a little research on things. Perhaps could set up some sort of ritual or
Yeah.
alchemical spell to let us see things more easily.
A ritual?
It's prolonged magical effects.
Does that make it stronger?
It can, I believe, if my research indicated correctly, or it could also give longer lasting effects. So instead of, as you know, how our sight fades somewhat quickly, we could set up a more permanent or semi permanent seeing ability. Perhaps enchant somebody's glasses.
I see.
Or- I believe dowsing rods are a thing as well.
True, true. This sounds like a solid plan. Do you guys want to go hiking?
I believe it'd be best to, if the church is empty, test it at the fountain. That way we'd have a baseline of something we know that we can then look for something else similar to it
Test our abilities now.
before we go out and get attacked by bears again.
That's a solid plan. Okay, let's do it then.
Out of character? Is it time for magics? Are we finally getting to the point where we're being actual mages?
Possibly. All right, then are you guys heading back to the church then?
Correct?
All right. The evening sermon is just starting up, so there's still a large number of cars out front as Father Morris has once again gone to the podium to give his little sermon today. A follow-up to the previous one.
There are multiple sermons.
Yep, there's almost always a morning service and an evening service on Sundays.
Yep, that's correct.
I wasn't saying there wasn't. Just cursing them and all the things.
So what are you guys gonna do?
How long is this going to be? Do we think?
About another hour and a half.
And I'm probably going to leave or Gemma here to go grab some more supplies in my at my house, perform some stuff in my own sanctum as we wait for people to clear out. I can leave Anthony here if he wants.
I mean,
All right. Feel free to go grab whatever you need.
Like Gemma, I actually have like spell components.
What? I have components to my spells.
That's what he said, like you.
Verbal
Oh, okay.
and
Alright.
material are kind of different.
I'm used to Nicholas just flaming me for things.
Well, you have plenty of time to grab the stuff, and after the sermon lets out, I don't know, did you guys go in the church or are you just kind of hanging out outside?
Well, if service is going on, I'll slip in for the last little bit of it, help out.
I may or may not have made all of that up just so I didn't have to hear another service.
That
He, whenever he sees you come into the church again, he gives a little nod towards you, but continues rambling on as Father Andrews is professionally good at. And when the sermon lets out, a couple people notice you're there and then come up and give you a shake and a hello, and so lovely to see you
A
before.
shake. Hi, Gemma. Yeah.
And then head out. Father Andrews comes up to you. Oh, it was such a great service today. It is such a lovely thing that I can have so many helpers here. So many volunteers help out so that you can have yourself a little bit more free time. I know you spend almost all of your time here at the church and at the library, and I hear from a good many of them that you've even made house calls. That's so far and above beyond what all my other sisters have done here. Gemma, you are a blessing.
Oh, thank you for recognizing my efforts, Father. It really means a lot. But of course, I feel like I should give everything that I can. The work of the Lord is basically my life's purpose. Off topic. I had a bit of a question.
Oh, what is that, Gemma? Please, let me answer if I can.
It actually involves a house call I had. I was speaking with an elderly gentleman, Daniel.
Oh, yes. Old man Dan. And how is he doing? Haven't seen him around here in a bit.
He seems to be doing well. I had a talk with him about, his past and everything, and I left him with a little prayer of health, although someone then decided to play a prank on him. I feel like he's going to be a little sour about that for a while, but I hope that he is in better health.
What do you mean?
Oh, some knucklehead decided to put lotion or something on his scalp. It's nothing really, just a harmless prank.
Oh, don't go around teasing old man Dan. He may be a little rough around the edges, but he's been here for quite a while. No, don't go messing with him. He's had a rough one.
I certainly understand that, and I hope his twilight years are wonderful ones. But he mentioned something that was quite interesting to me.
Oh, and what's that?
Well, he mentioned Father Morris and how apparently he performed miracles by the fountain.
Oh, yes, that's what the stories say.
Mm.
I've heard it from a few in the congregation ever since I became the priest of this fine church. Yeah, they told me that Father Morris, back in his day, would take lines of people, especially those that had been afflicted during their time in the mines, how rough on the health that can be. And he would help cleanse them in the waters. They said that it was refreshing for the body, the soul, and the mind. And Father Morris would have the light of divinity shine through him and help clean up all of the disease that would go through the mines. Oh, I've heard terrible, terrible stories about back then when, one person would get some kind of pneumonia and it would sweep through, bronchitis, I'm sure. They wouldn't have the medical terms for it, but based off of what I've heard, that's what I figured it to be. But they said that they would all show up, and after a lovely prayer and a few, I'm not sure what to say, but his practices seem to clear them up.
I see. I just wanted to follow up with you, Father, since I trust your word on these things, and not to suggest Daniel would lie, but...
Oh, no. I'm sure in his... Well, the last time I spoke with him, he seemed to have not all been there, so I understand that. But yes, everything I've heard about Father Morris is that he was an excellent healing man, a man of God, upright citizen of Pleasant Valley. I'm not sure how much this place would be the same if it weren't for him. I know it's not like there's much left to the town now, but I'm sure he's the reason it was only able to last as long as it has.
I see. his legacy must be really important for us.
Indeed it is, Gemma. And I intend to fulfill it. I want to be as strong of a healer as Father Morris. I want to be that rock that people can depend on. Not for vanity reason, but because I think this town really needs it. And maybe it's not me. Maybe my purpose here was just to be a stopgap until a certain angel can come along. And he winks at you.
That is an admirable desire, Father. Let's just hope we can both do our best then.
Right you are, Gemma.
Find people.
Now, I need to clean up a little bit around here. Would you mind grabbing the little roll vacuum and trying to sweep up? It looks like someone came in here with some dirty shoes on.
Of course, I'm just waiting for Nicholas to show back up.
Oh, the Mr. Bissett.
That's right. The young Bassett is coming back over.
Well, I won't leave until he arrives then. Let me
Oh,
get back to cleaning. And he turns around, and both of you notice that the farmer, Roger, is at the stairs at the foot of the cross, at the back of the church, and he's crouched over and praying. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize one of the flock was still here. Give me just a moment, Gemma. I'm going to go speak with him.
Of course.
And you see Father Andrew's approach, and maybe for the first time since meeting him, he didn't have a bombastic, loud introduction for himself as he approaches the man. He instead just walks up behind him, kneels down, and places his hand on his back, and you can hear him whispering something to him. Nicholas, I think about now would be, an hour and a half or so since you left. If you're still there. Did you leave?
Nicholas?
Nicholas?
Nikolai?
Legolas? His headphones may have died. Maybe.
Never to return to us again. Or
Well.
forever without a car.
Never mind.
Yeah.
We're just gonna say Nicholas is still on his way over. Anthony, Gemma, what are you doing right now?
Well, I'll continue vacuuming, but I'll inch closer to what's going on over there. But yeah, what is Anthony doing?
Trying to not look like I'm listening in to try and see what was going on over there with the farmer.
Okay. I guess we're both on the same page about that.
Yes. I mean, there's nothing else going on here, so let's try and listen in on what's going on there.
All right. Well,
Understandable.
in that case, then you see after a few short moments, Roger stands back up and he's crying and he sniffs his nose and wipes his eyes, and Father Andrew gives him a big hug, and you can hear him say, it's gonna be all right, Roger. You'll make it through this. It's fine. If you need anything, just ask us, all right?
Am I here?
Yeah.
You're here.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know how that happened.
That's okay.
Oh.
That's okay.
I was just saying that it now may have been an hour and a half since then, so you can show back up again, but now I've done a little filler here, so
Nope, no problem. Keep going. I'll wait.
Roger then walks away, and Andrew just kind of interlaces his fingers and leaves them low and watches him walk away, and Roger looks at both of you and nods his head, and you can see his eyes are bloodshot, and he looks like hell right now. He walks back out of the church. About this time, Nicholas should be arriving, and you two would see a sniffling and crying Roger the farmer heading to his car as you pull up.
Ah. now would be the time to not be socially awkward if I wasn't so socially awkward, despite the fact that it doesn't seem that way. I'm gonna go over to him and ask if everything is all right, because that is the sort of thing I should do as a healthcare professional.
No.
Understandable.
Well, I'm hoping. I do hope it's gonna be okay, boy. I just had one hell of a day today. It was rough. It was a real rough one, Nikki. I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened? Is there any way I can help?
Well, I'm not sure if you could, not unless you know something about soil or something along them lines that I'm not aware of. You see, I had a whole dang on acre of my corn just wither right up and die on me. I don't know why. I watered it just like all the rest. I gave it nutrients. I poured my heart and soul into it, and it just died out on me. And you know, every little inch of that plot I need when that harvest comes around. Now I know I'm gonna be a little bit under. And I don't even know why. I spent all day out there, got me a little farming test kit, make sure it's not toxic in the soil or nothing, it all come up clear. Oh, I don't know what's going on. So,
Well, I think I can do something to at least help. I have some friends, as you know, in the science industry. I could take some samples myself and maybe see if they can find anything more specific.
oh, Nicky boy, thank you so much. I don't even know what to say.
Nothing at all. I'm here to try to help the town, and you're a big part of that.
Thank you. Now, I've been up since about 4 o'clock this morning since I started working. I don't normally come out to these evening services, but I really needed a pickup, so if you don't mind, I'll be heading on out there, and you just give me word if you plan on coming around my parts, alright?
I will give you a call, and if I don't get a hold of you, don't worry. I might pop up just in case. We want to get this done soon so you can have the best chance you can.
Thank you so much, Nick. He gets in his car and drives away.
Well, that is going to complicate matters. I'll go in the church.
You see, Father Andrews is ushering out the last few stragglers from the evening service, and he's out at the front doors. And as soon as he catches eye of you walking down the street towards the doors, he puts his hands up and goes, "Hey, Nick! How's it going?"
It was better a little bit ago. I caught a good farmer out there. It seems like he's having a rough time.
Oh, absolutely he is, as he gives a little head nod to the people around him and walks towards you with his arms out for a big hug.
Oh, God. I mean, of course, Father Andrew.
Yep. Bring it in, boy. It's nice having a Basset down here at the church almost every day. It's nice to see your family still hanging around here.
Yes, we're doing the best we can.
Oh yeah, I did talk to Roger myself about that. He's very afraid for himself, so I reassured him that we at the church will always be here for him if he needs a little help, a little helping hand here and there. We can always, scratch his back. He's scratched ours. It's only right. But I'm sure things will be cleared up. It's not, since I've been in this town, we've seen things come and go like that. Sometimes you just can't tell what God's gonna do, and you just gotta be able to go with his plan.
Yes, I'm sure that things like this have happened a lot. It's good that you're able to help out where you can, Father.
Now, I do love talking to you, Nikki, but I got a couple more people to speak with here, but it's always lovely to see you. I just wish you could have been here for the sermon. You're a little bit late.
Oh, unfortunately have my own business I have to take care of, and time and tide wait for no man, as they say.
Right you are, right you are. I think your father has said the same thing to me at least a half dozen times. You take right after him, Nick.
Don't let me keep you.
All right, all right. And he walks off to chew off someone else's ear. You enter into the church, and there's Gemma and Anthony.
Well, I'm sorry it took me so long. We might have a more pressing issue, though, that we have to take care of.
What exactly is that?
No, I just met, as you probably saw, the poor Roger coming out. It seems part of his field has gone barren quite suddenly and without any explanation.
I see. Do you feel there may be some form of foul play?
Possibly. I haven't had a chance to go check, but I do believe we owe it to the good man to see if there's anything we can do.
I believe you're right. I suppose that does throw a wrench in our plans. However, I suppose the needs of the living do outweigh the needs of the departed.
But I don't think it would be a good idea to bother him today, so we can still
Go for a
attempt
hike.
some things.
Oh, of course. Very well then. Yeah, I suppose we should get set up then for this ritual.
I mean, is everybody gone? The father is not gone yet. We shouldn't do anything until then.
Oh, I suppose you're right. Yes.
And almost on cue, Father comes back in through the front doors and waves off people and removes the door stop so the doors can come close. And he comes in and sees you three standing there. And is there a meeting going on tonight or something?
Oh, we were just discussing what we might be able to do to help Harold.
Roger?
Yes, sorry, Roger. Not out there.
Yeah. Harold's the butcher.
I honestly thought you just meant to do that in character.
No.
It's I have a different character, Christopher, that I misnomer.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm not sure what you could do for him, but I do appreciate you putting your heads together on it. I got a couple of things to take care of up in the office, and then I'll be heading out for the night. If there's anything that comes up that you might need my help for, or that I can help in, just come up there, pop in, and let me know, alright?
All right.
I will.
He heads on up to his office. The church, at least like the main sanctuary, is now empty, aside from you all.
Well,
Oh,
So what you doing?
I suppose out to the fountain then, yeah?
I have to perform some tests and the like.
Alright, well, you head outside. It's now getting later in the evening. The sun is beginning to get low on the horizon. The glorious orange sky begins to burn brightly above you. There you are, the fountain with the overgrown plants all around, just teeming with the life as water trickles from the fountain.
So How do we actually do this? I don't think we've gone over rituals and prolonged.
I'm not really sure myself.
Oh, sorry, out of character.
Oh, okay.
Out of
How do
character.
we do that?
Well, it's more
Besides making
dependent.
arete rolls and stuff.
Right. Basically, you need to tell me what it is you're trying to achieve, and I'll basically tell you roughly how many successes it's going to take for you to achieve that. Then you're going to make multiple rolls as a group and contribute all your successes to that pool. And then if you reach that point, then the effect takes place. However, if you botch, you're going to have to either, fail the entire thing with all of your successes built up, or you're going to have to burn willpower to stop it from hampering your pool of successes. If you do get in that situation where you have to stop a botch, it doesn't matter how many other successes people are contributing, you have a chance of, blowing it all up.
I see.
So, you can achieve greater things than you can otherwise with these rituals, but it also means that if you are like building up to a really big pool of successes and you botch near the end and you don't have the willpower or ability to save it, basically all those successes turn into failures and you have a big backlash of it.
So this can go really south really fast.
It could. And it just kind of depends on, like, the actual, like, setting up of the ritual is all flavor. So however you want to determine the flavor of your ritual, that is up to you guys. Should be, sufficiently intricate for what you're doing, proportional. So just tell me what it is you are trying to achieve, and I will give you an idea of how many successes and the difficulty you're looking for.
Well, I believe we were trying to come up with something that would let us detect nexuses or ley lines or nodes or whatever they're called.
Mm-hmm.
So
Basically be a prime site, but you're just trying to extend the range and duration of it.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Unless there's some way we could do something like a dowsing rod, which would give us directions and stuff towards, like, rather than just having to see it, like kind of do a mapping thing. Like if I got a map of the forest, would I be able to like ping where they might be as like an area map? How they kind of hold little crystals over maps and let them swing back and forth until it like attributes to a spot. I know it'd be kind of the same thing, since it'd just be a longer range detection spell, but
I think if you're specifically talking about doing it with that map and something holding over it, I think there'd have to be some amount of correspondence added in there.
nope. So you don't really. Yeah, that's right. What are all our spheres besides Prime? I've got Life and Mind. What do the two of you have as well?
I have a sphere in prime, life, spirit, and forces.
Just one in all of those?
No. I have 3 forces, 3 life, and 2 spirit.
And I have 1 prime, 1 time, 2 mind, and 2 entropy.
Life is a big one for us. Spirit and Mind. So how do you guys think we could do this best to do Prime and other things for the flavoring of it?
I'm not quite certain, honestly.
I mean, it's Mind, we could have it kind of be like, I don't know, a mental tug or ping or something.
That is, let's see, with To mind, that seems reasonable to me. At least for the person with mind. So I think
Mhm.
for Nicholas, it could be inside your mind, or for Anthony, like something you're casting upon yourself. That would make sense to me.
Or did we want to try to enchant like an object? Like my glasses or something like that to that way it's not just like is that a thing we can do, is enchanting an object as opposed to just casting an effect?
I specifically to have sensory perception of prime, if that's what you're looking for to find nodes. I
Mhm.
think imbuing an object with that is going to take more than just 1 point of prime. Because you're
None of us
basically,
have more than 1 point of crime.
yeah, because you're going to have to imbue something with that ability.
So it'd be easier to do it as like a prime added on to one of our other spheres, like the mind or something.
Yeah. Or just trying to do a really strong casting of that sensory. Give it, basically to give it more, if you were to just do it as a sensory increase for one of you casting it as this ritual, where everyone's contributing to that person having better perception, I would say an increased range would increase the difficulty, and more successes increase the duration. So right now, doing a sensory prime check is just a difficulty 4 at an arete roll. If you get a success, it at least lasts for a moment. More successes, I went from it being like in the moment to being a minute to being an hour, and so on and so forth. So if you
Mhm.
want to make it so that immediate perception, like 60 feet away from you, and you just keep racking up successes, then it would still be a difficulty 4, and then however many successes would increase that time. If you want to make it out to like 200 feet, then we'd bump up the difficulty. If you want to make it like a mile away, then it's going to be like a couple more difficulties up from there.
What if we connect it to forces? Could we then use a compass to follow?
Let's see.
And have it point the direction.
A combined prime sensing of 1 with a force to act upon a compass, basically overcoming its magnesis and doing it instead with that. Yeah,
Yes.
I could see that being something you could do with like a forces 2 imbues it on it. 3 would make that artificial force, and you're already doing the prime one. So yeah, I think you could do that. Basically, you can make a compass that points you towards the closest ley line, basically.
That sounds like a good plan then.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Hmm.
We do need to give it decent range.
Yep, and we need to come up with how we're
Hmm.
combining our disparate types of magic. Gimma's prayer, your cooking,
Mhm.
into
Yep,
getting this all to work.
You do still need to use your focuses. You guys have not graduated
Well,
beyond those, so you will have to use them.
the only thing I can contribute is for the prime. And for that, I have my spoon.
Well, hold on. If we're trying to connect everything together, we could use the fountain. We could use the waters of the fountain as a connecting thread around the ritual. Like using the water somehow.
What was your teapot used for?
That was mind.
that's mind focus.
Yes. No, this I just need my my wooden spoon. Yeah.
You can use the spoon to do that. Oh, I don't know how I would, with only one dot in prime and it being the glasses. I don't see how I could help contribute super well to this.
Well, as long as you share a sphere of the ongoing effect, you can contribute to the successes for it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm just trying to figure out how to work it in easier. Like besides just like seeing and helping direct the forces, since I can't like personally move
We're trying to
prime or
use
anything.
prime and forces, correct?
Yep.
So forces is your main. So it's gonna be mostly on you.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have some prime to go with.
At least for forces, then, I can use my rosary. It could... Would we use it as, like, a compass? Where it would point? I'm not sure.
Be more of a dowsing rod than a
Yeah,
compass, but
I suppose that
it's
would
the
be
same idea.
Well, that's why we just use a regular compass, and we use the forces to impart the prime magnetic field instead of the regular Earth's magnetic field.
Ah, I see. Okay. I was just wondering if, like, using one of our focuses would produce...
Well, that was my original idea, was to enchant my glasses, as it's my prime focus anyway, and let me see things. But I like the compass idea. I know we can do you can do a compass by floating something in water as well. Like
Right.
usually a metal needle, but we could like get some of the fountain water and float something, either like your rosary is probably not a good one to do, but something like that. Maybe his spoon. How big is your spoon?
It's just
It's-
like a regular like cooking spoon. It's
Yeah.
not like huge.
So probably too big then.
Yeah.
And we don't want to like take a splinter off of it because we don't want to damage the tools.
Let me think. If you're talking about that one experiment, usually it's like a needle or...
Yeah,
Hold
you
on.
magnetize a needle and put it on top of a leaf and put it in a cup of water, and the needle will turn the leaf since it lets it float, more easily. Teacup is already predisposed to the area, right?
We could use teacup for the water.
Yeah, we could hold the water in the teacup and float something in teacup.
That is a great idea. We can use a leaf from the garden around the fountain. That would have more importance than any other leaf. We would just need like a needle from inside.
We could, since it's a leaf, I could use life. We could enchant the leaf to do it. So we use life and forces and prime.
Yes, that's a perfect idea. Have the leaf just point us. It's already pointy shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that gives us the most use of all of our abilities together, and is symbolically appropriate and everything.
Makes sense to me.
So I think we got our plan. Does that sound appropriately, magically symbolic and important to all our stuff?
I feel like it does. Just tell me what we're looking for the range that
I think we needed to, since we're going out into the woods and it's a big area, we need at least a mile.
Yeah, we do.
We can't do like 100 feet. We'd never find anything.
But we also need a consistent duration. Something long enough.
Yeah, it'd have to be at least a mile for probably at least a day or two.
Or at least about like 5 or 6 hours.
All right. So, with what you're saying, you will be taking the teacup, filling it up with water, placing a leaf in it,
Fountain, specifically. And the
No.
leaf from the garden.
leaf from the garden. In the water cup, you will be imbuing this leaf water cup teapot situation, this combination, to detect prime at a distance of a mile.
Yep.
Using the waters of a node to detect a node.
I'm gonna say that is gonna require at least six successes at difficulty 7.
And the question, is there any way to hold off on activating it so the duration doesn't happen until like we're ready to go? Because it's already too late tonight, I think, to have an extended trip through the woods.
Wouldn't we
If-
need to do time for that?
Yes, you would need to add time into that, at least a sphere of 3, I think, for you to do a delay
I just
cast.
meant like, could we just not finish the ritual until like tomorrow morning, or would
I
we
think
have to
we
do
would
it all
just
at
have to
once?
cast it tomorrow.
Yeah, you would have to start casting it tomorrow then.
All right, then I'm gonna suggest that since we have a limited time frame and we're not gonna do it tonight, now that we've made the plan, we might want to wait till we have time to do an extended search of the woods. We don't want to get trapped out at night again and waste all this effort.
Yeah, that does make sense.
I don't know when you'd have any time off, though, Gemma.
Hmm?
If we're gonna spend a full trip at the woods, don't you have service almost every day?
Hmm,
Nope, just
mostly
Sundays.
Sunday.
Just Sundays?
Yep, he just needs help on Sundays, and then otherwise it's just cleaning and stuff throughout the week at the church.
Basically, yeah. I would only need like 30 or so minutes in the morning.
All right, so then we could make this a plan to do tomorrow or Tuesday. I want to still get Roger, go out and see Roger at some point too, as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think we have a pretty good plan here.
Mhm.
All right. So we're holding off on the ritual cast for now then?
Yes, I think so. I don't believe we want to waste the cast for an hour of driving out to the woods to get attacked by a bear and have to come back again.
All right. So is everyone departing to their houses for tonight then? Or their rooms, I guess, since some one of them is living in a church?
If we made all our plans, yeah, I think that's good. We'll get on this bright and early. Did we decide if we wanted to do it Monday or Tuesday?
I think we should just go tomorrow. Yeah, Monday.
Okay. Do it Monday and then help Harold on Tuesday,
Yeah,
or Roger on Tuesday.
yeah, Roger.
All right.
Gimma,
Yeah.
tonight, I need you to make a willpower check for me. I need it to
Oh.
be at difficulty.
Willpower. Okay.
That's going to be an 8. Willpower, difficulty 8 for me.
Okay. Okay. That is a success.
A success. All right. From the point that Anthony and Nicholas leave the church, up until you wake up the next morning, you kind of don't remember anything that happens between those 2 points in time. They leave, you remember walking back into the church, and then the next thing you know, you're waking up in the morning. However, you think you remember a single image from the night before of you going into your room and there being someone in there. But that's all you remember.
Huh.
Dun dun
Once-
dun.
Do I remember any details of this person?
Nope.
I see. Where am I when I realize this?
You're in your bed. You just wake up. Teacup
I'm-
is still on your nightstand.
Okay.
Everything else still in your pockets and whatnot.
Okay, teacup, card, okay. I kind of hazily look around and I wonder to myself, huh. Wonder who was? Best not to overthink it. Whatever it was. It was.
Hold on
I
a
need to
second.
get ready, though. Huh?
That willpower check? How much willpower do you have right now?
5?
Because you got 3 of those X'd off, right?
Oh, I guess I don't roll those then, do I?
Did you take off? Did you gain your willpower
think-
back for the night's sleep before and everything?
I didn't gain it back, no. When do I gain willpower again?
Yeah, you would have gotten 1 back the next morning anyway. But it rolled 5, and you should have been only at 3.
Okay, that's my bad. I didn't realize that was the case.
I'm going to guess that it's going based off of the circles then.
I guess so. I just used the button at the very top, the willpower button.
Mm-hmm. You might want to invert that then. And instead of having the checkboxes be your current willpower,
Use
maybe
the circles as
little circles as the current willpower.
Sure, I can do that.
And then maybe that would try rolling it again. Well, you should have 3. Yeah, there you go. And let's see if it does it this time. As 3.
Now wait, does this recovery, is this counting the one from this morning or is it the one from previous morning? Because I never actually got that one.
No, that we're including the one from the previous morning. After what I'm doing right now, you're going to be at 4.
Got it. Okay, let me reroll the willpower then.
I'm not going to retcon what happened. I just want to see if this makes it different. Yes. Okay, so it's going based off of the little dots.
Okay.
All right.
It is kind of funny how it became the same result regardless.
Yep.
So-
It's fine. So, yeah, you wake up the next morning. You don't remember heading to bed, but you are in bed all the same.
Mm. I feel a little weirded out by not really being able to remember anything. For a moment, I have the thought of, I don't suppose that business card could, but I kind of push that thought away because it doesn't really make sense. At least from what I know of what Margaret can do. So with that out of mind, Gemma gets stressed, gets done with the cleaning as quickly as possible so that we can move on with our task.
All right. As for Anthony and Nicholas, do you guys want to give me a d20 check real fast? Oh, you guys have excellent sleep. Oh, it's
Critical sleep success.
you definitely feel well rested for today. Probably finally getting caught up from the bear experience, getting that out of your immediate mind and anxiety. But yes, yeah, you sleep very well. Otherwise, fresh start to the day. You guys have a plan? Let's see that plan in action. Where are you gonna set up this ritual? You going out to the woods?
We have to do it at the at the fountain, don't we?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay, my bad. I misunderstood.
We're
Well,
using
I
the fountain
guess-
water, and the stuff there is kind of a symbolic link to a node.
Yeah,
Mhm.
node communication.
All right.
How should we go about the rules for this? Huh?
Hmm?
I don't really. I just kind of like. How do you foosh normally?
I think she was saying, do we like all roll simultaneously and add things together, or are we just having one person roll?
No, you would each roll to it because if any one of you botch it, then it affects the entire pool. So I believe I said a difficulty 7, and you're gonna need 8 successes in total. So roll your arete.
Difficulty 7. Okay, that's 4 so far.
All right. So basically, this first ritual casting, you guys take a few minutes to set up your little teacup water leaf situation at the fountain, and you start working your magic on it. And as you weave the pattern of will into this makeshift compass, it starts to come together. So go ahead and make your next rolls.
Okay.
No, I have just a 0.
Okay.
Okay, so Nicholas kind of gets a little distracted, and he wasn't in some part of this. You did not get your will added
Holy
into
water in my eye. Ah!
it. However, with the 3 of you pumping into this almost strictly sensory effect, you're able to complete the pattern of your will into this cup. And it is now, Teacup is just happy to be here right now.
Understandable.
The water inside the cup, though, as the magic takes its hold, you can see the leaf point towards the center of the fountain.
Well, that seems to be working then.
Hopefully it persists till we find what we want. Let's get in the car and hurry. Don't want to waste more time than necessary.
Right, well, I will go head to the car and head to the woods.
All right, as you drive towards the woods, you notice who's holding the cup right now?
Not me, I'm dragging.
I suppose I should be.
All right. You would notice that the leaf stops pointing at the fountain after a short drive away from the church, and it points in a different direction towards the center of town.
Oh, that's interesting. It's pointing towards the town center.
Somewhat near the bank, I would assume.
I don't know. Is it in the
Oh,
direction of the bank?
Would that be the farmer's market?
The bank is in the middle of town. It is on Main Street.
Oh, well, that makes sense then.
You want to check it out, or should we keep going? We are on a time limit.
Well, I mean, we know it's working, so let's get it to the woods.
Yeah, let's.
Maybe if we get some extra time, we can check out the town.
It's not what we're looking for, after all.
All right. Then, as you get to the outskirts of town, the leaf is still pointing back towards the center as you get to the edge of the woods. The center of town, that is.
Mhm. It's still pointing over there. That's quite a distance that's doing that. I mean, I would imagine so. Comparatively.
Must be a really powerful node.
I suppose so, yeah. But, well, hopefully that doesn't overshadow what we're looking for. Let's, get on out there. Yo? Trying to use the hip lingo.
All them kids.
Yeah, gotta connect with the youth.
Well, as you go down the trail, do you head down a familiar trail or are you going down a different one?
I think we should at least get to the start of the trail we went down before.
Okay. After about an hour of light hiking through the woods, you reach the split in the trail where it branches off down the one that you are not supposed to be going down. And the compass is still pointing back in the direction of center of town.
All right. Well, where would you like to go from here? You can just start going down paths.
I suppose. What do you think, Anthony?
Yeah, let's start at the fork. Well, actually, do we want to just go to the regular cabins, or do we want to go to where we were? I'm not sure.
Well, I suppose we saw the map earlier about how all the trails go, right? Can I make some sort of a Enigma's roll or some sort of roll to plan out the best route, since we have several trails to crisscross to try to hit something in the woods?
I mean, if you stay on this trail, the one that runs next to the one that you're not supposed to be on, that would of course be the closest proximity to the mine. However, the more you go out, the further away from that you're going to go. So I'm not sure if there's a specific bit of information you're looking to get there out of your Enigma roll. Otherwise...
Well, I was just saying, like, just in case, and I will not concede this, but just in case Nicholas is wrong and where we're trying to go isn't by the mines, like, the most efficient route for crisscrossing the more inhabited parts of the woods, so we don't spend too much time, like, overlapping our range.
Oh.
We have a limited time frame and everything, so...
Yeah, go ahead and give me a... well, that'd probably be Wits Enigmas then. And just make that a difficulty 6 for me.
Alright. Yep, got a success.
Yeah, after you reach this point, you realize you're gonna have to do a bit more searching, and taking a look at the trails and how they're aligned, you're able to figure if you cross from one trail, there's a point where one meets up later on. You could make a pretty good round of the entire, at least hikeable section of the woods.
Alright, let's get to it then.
Alright.
Also, given our previous encounter in the woods, while we were doing this, I'm gonna keep a magical eye out for life, specifically trying to make sure we don't run into, more bears and the like. So I'll pull out my toolkit, start mixing some, uh, what I don't want to say clear eyes, but
Mm-hmm.
an enhancement so I will be able to spot life and specifically, large life forms more easily with my life sight.
Okay. In that case then, give me an arete at difficulty. I'm not sure if the teacup thing counts as an ongoing effect. I think since it's been the three of you and you put it into it at a distinct amount of duration, I'm not going to include that. So just do it at a difficulty 4 for me.
All right, and then got up my willpower from last night's rest. I'm gonna spend it again because I really don't want to get surprised by bears and shit while I'm doing it. So I'm gonna spend a willpower point for it,
Okay.
and that will give me 2 successes.
Alright, so you're going to be able to maintain that for a little while at least. With 2 successes, I'd say you can keep it up for close to an hour.
All right, good for at least the start here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let us know how the hike goes, I guess.
Well, as you are hiking the trail, you catch a glance from a couple other people that are walking the trails every now and again. It's not like it's packed. There's not a whole lot of people, but occasionally you bump into a couple that are out for a stroll and you catch a glimpse of them looking at you carrying a teacup with a leaf in it. And one of them goes, what are you all up to? What's this about?
Penny, talk.
Oh. Is this like a challenge or something? What are you all up to?
Oh, it's I look at the cup with the leaf and the water in it, and I just go, it's tea.
Oh. Well, it's nice to have tea in the woods then, I guess. And they just keep going.
All right, we are coming up with a better lie than that.
I was curious as to what you were going to come up with. I am sorry.
Can
This
you?
is your job.
Oh, I mean, I know, but I wanted to hear what Gemma was going to say.
You guys know I'm bad at lying.
I know.
You could have just said it's a science experiment. It's kind of that. It's, a compass and a cup to see how it works.
Mhm.
I'm just glad I'm not in my habit right now.
Oh.
Sure. It's not like we'll see those people ever again in this town of 5 people.
Of course I'll see them again.
Probably while you're at church.
Yes, exactly. I just hope they don't recognize me.
No, you blend into the crowd with all the other habit-wearing young girls in town.
Mm.
Anyway, as you guys make your rounds through the trails, at no point in this journey so far has the leaf ever stopped locking onto that node in the middle of town. Or at least, pointing in a direction in the center of town.
It's odd. It keeps pointing towards the center of town. I wonder why. Is it really that strong? Or... Oh no,
Be
what do
a
you
problem if it's overpowering anything else.
I
But
mean,
Wait, no, it shouldn't have that distance.
you wouldn't think with... I mean, if it
Gemma,
overpowered, then it wouldn't do... What?
where's
Miss
the
Williams
card?
is messing with us again.
Where's the card? Oh, I'll pull out the card. It's gonna be in my sleeve.
Yep, it's a
Pocket.
card.
Yeah,
Exactly.
do you think?
That we're being messed with? Yes.
We just set it on fire now.
I mean, I suppose if you want to, but I won't be the person to do it.
Do we have cell phone reception?
You've got 2 bars at least out there.
Oh, the wonders of science.
I just call her.
Call the bank.
Me.
It
Yes.
is Monday now, so yes.
All right. Thank you for calling the First Bank of Pleasant Valley. Sorry, we could not answer your call right now. All of our tellers are busy at the moment, but if you please leave a message, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for using Pleasant Valley Bank. Bye-bye. Boop.
This is Mr. Bassett calling for Miss Williams. Please have her return the call when it is convenient. Have a nice day. Now, when I hang up, it's like, now we burn the card.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well,
That
go
should
ahead.
get her on the... Unfortunately, we need to move to like a rest area or something first because I'm not setting fire to things in the woods.
I mean, it's just a small fire.
Look, have you heard of what's happening in California?
Yeah, but it's not that bad here.
What's happening in California exactly?
Everything's on fire.
Oh my, they really should get control of that. Why? Is there like a mad arsonist or?
Maybe it's a lack of whooshers.
Oh, I
They need
see.
more whooshing in the area.
Right, so morals. Let's see, scientific method and climate change. I'm gonna have to put a whole course together for you.
He's been
I
a bit
mean-
sheltered.
Okay, listen.
How does
You
Shelby
live
Life-
in a library, basically.
Yeah, and what book is talking about the California wildfires? At least the modern ones.
Went to the library for over a week. Did you not look at the newspapers?
Why?
Not the recent ones.
No, that's not what she was focused on.
How are you supposed to pray for the evils in the world if you don't even know what they are?
Just- I don't know. I think you just do a blanket statement and God knows what you mean.
If he did, he wouldn't let all this stuff happen.
Oh, come on now. Let's not use that argument.
Anyway, so we're gonna, I guess, move a little bit longer until we find either a change or a rest area, I guess.
All right.
Anything like that?
After a short bit more walking, you come upon a rest stop where there is a nice little bench to sit down, and there's not like a fire pit or a grill or anything like that, though.
Not a trash can.
No, as it turns out, having trash cans out in the middle of the woods is usually just a way for bears to be attracted to them. Although, I guess I could have a trash can there if you want.
No, it's fine.
I mean, would explain some bears.
Oh, actually, there's an outhouse there.
Oh yeah, no, no, no.
No?
I'm not. No,
What?
I'm not going to cause an methane explosion.
Are you sure?
I put
Is there-
points into intellect for a reason.
You just throw the card down there.
Ooh, yes, no, that's a way better idea.
Now I'm the voice in
Nope.
your head.
You're right. Nope. I agree 100%. We're just going to toss the card inside the toilet.
Oh no, don't toss the
Maybe
card in there.
maybe use the outhouse as well.
I mean, that's just rude.
I mean, you remember when she described, the work of actually retrieving the card, pulling it back to her.
I mean, there's certainly enough stuff there anyway. Let's not be overly aggressive. Also gross.
Yeah, that is very.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you're gonna go through with something, you might as well go through all the way.
Oh, go for it yourself then. She can be
Yeah,
angry at you.
I think she's already pretty angry at me.
Well, I guess Anthony does the business.
All right. You drop the card. You watch it flutter and spin as it descends into the darkness before a light slap as it touches the gooey depths below.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. During this time, of course, Teacup is just hanging out in your hand, and the leaf continues to point in the same direction it has been.
It's still pointing in the same direction. Just so you're aware.
Oh,
We get a card or not? Maybe there's not actually a note out here. Or maybe it's closer than mine and we haven't got close enough yet.
Maybe. I think it's best just to keep looking.
Well,
Yeah,
we have
I-
today, and then that's probably the last of the time we have for a little bit. So,
it just seems really odd that we're all the way out here and it's still pointing back there. I didn't think it should be able to.
I mean, it might just be pointing towards the last direction it was at.
Well,
Why don't you just try stirring it around a little bit to see if it floats back that way?
hold on. Didn't remind me, Yodi. Whenever it lost tracking of the fountain one, did it go limp or did it go straight to the center?
It went straight to the center.
Well, it did go straight to the center. Maybe it's one of those things where it's not until we get close to it that it will fix on. It won't go just like all dangly. Wait, does that even make any sense? You know, the let's just keep looking.
Okay, we'll keep looking.
All right. You continue down the trails for a couple more hours. You've burned through,
I renew my
I would
my
say,
sight.
yeah, you've already lost it by the time you get to this rest stop. You would have to reapply it if you want to put it up again. There you go.
It's got the one that time.
Just the one, so it's only going to last for a short time. Only
Oh,
minutes.
it will let me look around and see if there's any bears currently.
Yep. Well, there are no bears in your immediate vicinity while you hold this teacup and walk down
good.
the little
That's
trail.
at least one little time that we're not being attacked by bears.
And otherwise, you know, the trails are really nice this time of the year. It's a pleasant day. No major things to complain about. Trails are nice and well kept. And before long, you find yourself at the juncture of a trail that will take you back towards the trailhead. You have now almost completed the entire loop, and at no point has the leaf made a change in direction. The water's gotten a little murkier, though.
That's interesting.
Well, If anything, if we don't actually find what we're looking for, at least it's been a pleasant walk.
Yes,
It
I'm
has.
sure the exercise will do us well.
Oh yeah.
Very nice trails.
However, I do believe we had more urgent things to deal with.
Yes, of course.
Hmm.
Just trying to look on the bright side.
Stupid teleporting space magic.
Hmm. Are you really thinking about that infinite pathway again?
And a perfectly reasonable way around it.
Yeah, you get 70 stars and then you can pass. Or
No,
you
you
can
just
learn
gotta
to
do rapid backwards long jumps.
Yeah. Yahoo!
I will say though, I do think, regardless of if we want to go down there, I don't think we should poke around. Reasonably, regardless of how we feel about Margaret, I think at this current point she is stronger than us in this respect.
Does not make her correct. After all, she didn't notice the ghost in my great uncle's house, did she?
Of course not. But let's
And if this vine has been as dangerous and taken as many victims as she says, don't you believe there could be more lost souls there that could need help?
of course there could be, but
And you're just
you
going
need
to abandon them without even trying.
But if we're not at the right level of power to deal with the dangers that exist within that mine, then not only are we not going to be able to help the lost souls there, we're also putting innocent lives of people in the town at danger.
precisely. Humility is the finer point of valor.
And
You
you
have to
take
learn
lessons
that.
and humility from Miss Williams.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not happy about it. Okay? But we need to understand that she is probably stronger than us, and
And
whatever
that
that
makes
is.
her right.
It
Is that
doesn't.
it? Might
Don't be
tells you
big-headed
everything.
about this.
My
Listen,
own father believes she was wrong about several points already,
it's not
and he is
about
much
that.
stronger than us.
It's about what we can actually handle. And right now, we can't handle her. So how about we handle things until we can?
So are you advocating we secret ourselves away and gain power until we can, what, overpower her and then do what we want to do?
No, just figure out things to do until we can get past that little obstacle of hers. I wasn't wanting to state it while I had the card, but
Uh, is something more bothering you, Gemma? You seem a little bit more should I say less crime inclined today?
it's I've just had some things to think about is all. Now, I suppose we should spend what more time we have with this while we can.
Well, I don't believe there's anything else we can do in the woods if you two are unwilling to check the only part of it we haven't tried yet.
Is that the only part of it?
I
Pretty
believe so,
much.
yes.
Pretty much gone around the entire perimeter of the woods, following the trails.
Then I guess, yeah, it would be there. If she had a node, which I assume she would.
Or she just forced the compass to point to where she is.
Oh, whenever Margaret, right.
Could be any of the wards she'd set up or whatever.
I don't know.
I guess we've already called. We can follow the compass. I mean, it's going to run out anyways. We might as well at least use it for what we intended it to while we can.
So we're gonna head back and go to where the compass points then?
I suppose we could use what little we have left and maybe confirm whatever suspicion we have.
All right. You guys get back in the car and head towards town again?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
All right. As you get towards the center of town, the Leaf does continue to track towards Main Street, and you head down the roads that take you there, and as you suspected, the Leaf is pointing at the bank. As you roll up towards it,
As we roll up towards it. Dot,
Yeah.
dot, dot.
it continues to point at it.
Okay.
It stays true towards the bank. When you get close, it turns ever quicker to indicate it is pointing straight towards the center of the bank.
Fair enough.
What time is it?
Let's see. You guys got an early start. You did your casting. It's been about 4 hours. I'd say about 2 in the afternoon.
All right. I'm gonna give Roger a call and let him know I'm gonna be heading over to his farm to take some samples.
All right. He answers and says he'll be at his he's up at the farmer's market right now, but if you stop by his place, he'd be more than appreciative. There shouldn't be any problem with you going out on his property.
All right. So, I'm gonna go see what I can do to help for Roger. Anthony, I believe you could be quite helpful as well with your talents. Gemma, you can come along if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll go along.
All right. You head up to Roger's farm. He gave you some quick directions over the phone, and once you arrive there, he gave you an idea of which plot of land it was. You'd have to do a little bit of walking through some fields, but once you arrive, you can see that there's just it's not like a crop circle in that it's like rigidly defined and padded out and all of that, but it's like if something had just taken a big chunk out of his field, just a big semicircle out of his cornfield. It's just withered and dried. You can even see that some of the leaves that hang from the stalks outside of that circle into it have withered away.
Well, I believe we should go check that out. I want to get over there. I'm gonna use my life abilities to see if I can find anything. I'm gonna, Anthony, if you could pull out your cleaver and see if there's any, weak points or whatnot for this you can find.
It looks all pretty weak and dead.
Or anything specifically causing it. But I'm gonna take out some vials, get some samples, because I am gonna send some to somebody that can analyze it. But I also want to go grab some. He said he had, fertilizer and soil and stuff. I'm gonna grab some of that to use in the spell.
All right.
Try to find what's causing the ground to be void of life, and what I might be able to do to fix it.
Okay. So with your sensory of life, just give me an Arete difficulty 4.
Alright.
All right.
Go.
The samples you pull into your little kit there, your little testing kit, seem to pop and fizz as different uh, there's a chemistry word for it, but I can't think of it right now, gets introduced. And you become aware that the area around this does seem to have been affected by some kind of unnatural source. The life here did not die of natural withering. The nutrients in the ground don't seem to be the cause. You do sense some kind of unnatural effect here.
All right. And is this unnatural effect seeming to be from the life sphere? Is no better way to put it. Or does it seem to be, like, say, from something else?
You aren't able to perceive that.
So it's probably not like, I don't know, someone sucking like the life energy out of the ground or anything like that, where it's, or, you know, poisoning it or anything like that. It's something else, but it is unnatural.
If it was something like sapping the life energy out of it, it wasn't done with life magic.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. Something supernatural is happening, but it's not from life sphere.
Yeah, that's what you're
Okay.
able to perceive.
Well, it seems that someone has done something unnatural to this land, but not in a way that I can directly counteract it. I could try something to boost the crops and stuff here. Anthony, did you get anything?
Let me check.
Yep.
Would I be able to combine life and entropy sight, or not like prime and entropy sight?
Yeah, explain what you would be looking for.
I'm really looking to see if it's saying that it's unnatural, so I'm trying to look for magic, but I also want to know if entropy itself is being employed to destroy the crops, and if that's the magical influence.
Okay, that still seems like a 1 for both, so give me Arete difficulty 4.
Okay. Four. Two.
Okay, looking with your combined entropy prime sight, you recognize that there isn't a very strong prime pattern going on here. There doesn't actually seem to be much of a prime pattern at all in the area. All matter and all energy in the universe is somewhat derived from prime, but what you're seeing right now doesn't seem to echo that. However, as far as entropy is concerned, you can tell that something brought about the end to these crops sooner than they were supposed to. And you can tell that it has the effect of this wasn't like instantaneous. You can see that the pattern of its I don't want to say time, but it's the probability of it staying alive was high until something caused it to immediately get destroyed. It seemed like the probability of it growing with the rest of the crops was going to be true up until something happened and completely threw it off course.
Okay. Still not fully identifying it yet. I mean, it can tell that these plants are definitely not supposed to be dead right now.
Is there any spooky spiritual fooshing that you can detect?
Sure. Let me just go ahead and flip open my book. I'll reach out and flip flop.
If you're reaching for your book, can I ask what Teacup's doing right now?
Oh,
Is he still full of water with a leaf in him?
I suppose I wouldn't have dumped it out. I would have just
Okay.
kind of held him in my left hand and reached in my sleeve with the right.
Yep.
Flip it open.
Okay. I was just wondering. Otherwise,
Okay.
go ahead.
Yeah. Alright, difficulty 4, correct?
Correct.
Alright. 2 for spirit?
All right. So with the book in your right hand and teacup in your left, you can see the visage of the little woodland creature inhabiting the teacup is resting on your hand. However, you can see in the crops through this perception of the spirit world. The farm itself has huge, they're like towering forests of corn that stretch out as far as the eye can see over hills and almost like a mountain in the distance of just corn. This exaggerated view of the world is not uncommon after you've been looking through this for a while, but what you're looking at right now, you don't see withered, destroyed crops. You just see a chunk of it where the corn is missing. And you can see that there is something glistening on the ends of the stalks that have been, it looks like almost cut down.
Oh. I'd like to approach and investigate that a little bit.
All right. You,
Not really.
give me a just give me a perception alertness check at difficulty 6.
Perception alertness. Difficulty 6. That is 2.
All right. So as you get closer, you realize that on a lot of the stalks, this sort of glistening, shimmering liquid is on the edges of them. And you also notice that there's globs of it on the ground all around. And after getting close and checking them out, it almost looks like something has eaten the corn here in the spirit world. And this,
I see. I'll go ahead and relay this by saying, in the other side, it looks like something has eaten it. It's eaten down to the stalk. All
Some
kinds
sort of spirit or something has eaten the corn?
That's what it seems like. A spirit, or perhaps it's more metaphorical? Perhaps?
And do you have any idea of where this metaphorical spirit is, so we might do something about it? Is there a trail, or do you see, I don't know, some ghostly mice or something running around?
Is there a trail?
all right. You can see from the globs of saliva that leading away from the farm and out into some woods, there are globs of this glistening saliva heading away from the farm.
Out into the woods. There's saliva.
Well, unless you two believe we're once again out of our depths and should leave someone to a horrible fate, how about we go see what's going on? Also, I'd like to say that apparently Miss Margaret's spirit detection isn't up to snuff if she's letting someone eat Roger's corn, unless she's the cause of it.
I mean, one, it could be detected and be gone, and therefore she wouldn't be able to just simply capture it.
Didn't you say this didn't happen overnight? This was a longer time?
Not necessarily.
No, is that the plants were supposed to live a much longer time until suddenly they weren't.
Like they were consumed.
Well,
by something.
shall we go then? Or should you wait to tell Miss Williams and have her deal with it?
I'm just gonna give a bit of a glare to Nicholas as I just go ahead and go towards the woods.
All right. Well, the trail through the spirit world is almost too easy to follow. The way that normally these things will unfold as you're piercing the gauntlet with your periscope of this book is that things seem to be of varying sizes. It's very difficult to track things for long periods of time while you're looking through it. However, it seems to be a bit more locked in place for you today, and you're able to follow along. However, as you get deeper and deeper into the woods, following this trail, the perception through the book begins to fade, and it becomes harder to see as the pages once again become opaque.
Should I roll Arete to try to maintain it?
Yes.
Okay. Still a 4 or?
Yeah, it's still a 4.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, after another hour or so of walking, you guys hear the sound of other people and of cars. And it sounds like actually a lot of people aren't too far off from where you are now. And before you know it, you start seeing the edge of the woods on the other side. And you peer through and you find yourself at the far end of the farmer's market. Plot of land where all of the farmers in the area show up to show off their crops and invite people to come and buy some.
I see.
The trail leads to the farmer's market?
That's
Yep.
what I'm seeing, yes. But
The
Where
place that Miss Williams keeps running people out of.
that's correct.
That's not good.
So perhaps
Where-
she is aware of this and is unable to do anything? Or perhaps she's running people out of it and summoning this creature. She doesn't seem particularly fond of there being a farmer's market.
Where's the trail now?
You're the one following the trail.
The
Oh,
trail
yeah.
the trail has led you to the farmer's market. You can see as you, well, first of all, are you holding the book up in front of you as you're walking through the farmer's market?
Well, I suppose I'll keep it a little bit more, instead of just holding it like right out in front of me, I'll have it a little bit lower, a little bit more discreet, especially since what I'm looking for is on the ground anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can just kind of keep it low profile, just down more towards like waist level.
All right. Then you walk through and you do see those little globs there. However, the spirit world vision of this farmer's market is also a distortion of what you see in reality. There's a combination of some places where it looks like there's large boxes of fruits, veggies, and grains and whatnot just stored around, even though the stalls themselves don't look like that. In the spirit world, it just looks like almost like a warehouse out in the middle of a field. And there's just stacks and stacks of things there. And outside of that, there's also small creatures. They look like a mix between an owl and a mouse. They've got like the tiny little mouse body, but they've got big eyes on them and little beaks, and you can see them hopping around, moving from little bin to little bin, and occasionally seeing one nibbling on something as it runs along. However, the thing that really draws your attention is that the boxes of food seem to be destroyed near the center of the farmer's market. The boxes look like they've been overturned, and there's like corn, of course, since that's now the major crop of this area, I have decided, and wheat, and it's just littering the ground, and it's kind of piled up in the center.
Center. There's a bunch of crops just piled up, half eaten. That's where it's leading.
Well, this
we-
might explain what she actually wanted to talk about.
Yes.
I guess maybe this is the obvious thing she was.
And the new hobby she would like us to pick up.
In the center of the farmer's market, on this side of the gauntlet, is a very open spot. There's no stalls there specifically. It seems to be an area that is left relatively untouched. In the spirit world, though, you do see there's almost like a nest there of all the different crops laying around it. A little bit higher than you're looking at through the book, though. You can't peer over this wall of crops.
Interesting. There's a wall of crops. I can't really peer around it. Real talk, do we continue investigating this right now? Or do we do this later?
Well, you're the only one that seems to be able to investigate this particular problem at the moment. So,
Do we push this when there's so many people around?
Because there's so many people, we might want to back off and try and find out. Let's admit that we were wrong in what we were chasing, and that we have something more important and pressing to save the town. And see what Miss Williams has to say.
I will admit nothing, but I will say there's something pressing. I suppose we should wait until, she comes around to throw everybody out.
The teacup in your pocket, it sorts of tugs towards the center of the farmer's market.
Hmm? Teacup wants to go to the center.
I mean, we have nothing else to do for a little bit. We can always browse as we walk towards the center. I'm sure Anthony can find something he wants to buy.
Okay.
Very likely, if all the good crops haven't been eaten yet.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. You edge closer as you meander through the farmer's market towards the center. And as you get towards the edge of this wall of produce, the spirit world grows a little bit darker. Not like nighttime or a complete darkness, it just seems to dim a bit. And you're able to see a glimpse of something orange on the other side of the wall. Something large. It's almost as tall as the wall itself there. But again, on this side, there's not much to see. It just looks like a little plot of land that people are walking around.
What is that? Emma just kind of whispers to herself.
The teacup jumps out of your pocket and again sort of bounces off of your little slip-on shoe and rolls across the grass that makes up the ground here at the farmer's market, the dirt paths and whatnot, and it begins rolling towards that center
As this happens, Gemma gasps and goes, "My teacup!" and just kind of hobbles towards it. Kind of like just like somebody who just dropped their ball and is like desperately trying to keep pace with it.
You bump into someone as he does. Hey, get your face out of that book and watch where you're going.
Sorry, I dropped my cup. Ah! As I keep trying to reach out for teacup. And then
It stays just outside your reach as it rolls along. There's a couple of eyes on you as you chase after this teacup moving along the dirt ground.
Seriously.
God.
And it rolls to a stop.
At
And-
the feet of Miss Williams.
No, it finally reaches a resting point and you're able to catch up with it.
Oh, I kneel down and pick it up and I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I pick up the teacup and put it away as I take a peek through the book, kind of discreetly.
As you peek into the book, you can see sitting at your feet is the head of a dragon. Bright, glistening, orange scales cover it from head to toe. It's asleep. It seems to be sort of nestled up, curled up around this nest of produce. It has big antlers on its head that sprout out into little bushels that look like they have berries growing on them. The spines on its back are made out of bark and extend all the way down to a long tail that at the end is spreads into 4 tips, each one of them adorned with thorns, glistening red.
Immediately, Gemma just freezes up and just goes, and just starts backing away a little bit. Just not really. Just back away.
As you begin to back away, the teacup woodland spirit you hear go, "Mm,
I'm gonna have to buy a rank of spirit magic. Missing all the cool stuff.
Yeah, there does seem to be a lot going on in that world that we can't see. It's like, oh, this ear of corn looks really good.
You hear a loud groan and I think that's where we'll call it.
I'm gonna say, make an athletics check.
Yeah, this will be the cliffhanger we end on.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Its eye opens. There, end episode.
Okay, I fought a bear. Can I fight a dragon?
Can't even see
Why-
the dragon.
Why do you even want to fight the dragon?
Dragons are friends.
I'm a
Probably.
dragon, especially right now.
Yeah.
Rude.
Dragons are friends, not foes. Unless.
It depends on
Dragons
what
are
it wants to do
friends,
to
not
us.
food.
Well, there was not. Well, there was some magicking there. We did some new magic
Yes.
stuff today. So, everybody, get yourself your 1 automatic experience point. You laid the dragon. I said slayed the dragon. Yeah, caffeine.
Lay the dragon.
I will
Oh,
lay the
I can-
dragon.
I can slay a dragon.
Pretty sure we can all lay a dragon.
I think everyone wants to. All right,
Yeah.
Learning curve. Characters who truly learn something new, important, or significant to the plot or their personal stories can earn a point.
I mean, we learned there was a dragon in the middle of the farmer's market.
Yeah, that's kind of a big discovery.
That's a bit new.
Yeah, there were several things learned today between talking with Daniel, the old man, and Father Andrews about the deceased Father Morris. There was some stuff learned there.
We hope he's deceased. At this point, we're not sure anymore about anything.
Well, good. I'm glad there's some curiosity there for you. I guess in that
Become a
case,
lich.
give yourselves some experience here. Role-playing. A player who goes above and beyond the group's usual level of role-playing should be rewarded with an extra point for exploring his character, delve into his backstory, or following his quirks or archetype, even when the player realizes that his character's mistake is making a mistake, and so on. At the very least, I do feel like Nicholas is very heavily leaning into his dislike for the church.
And also, I'd like to point out my benefactor demeanor of helping the old man, even though he's really anti-science and stuff.
That is absolutely fair. I do think you should get your will point for that. However, would either one of you want to make a case for getting a role-playing point today?
I suppose I did decently with the interview thing. Or...
Or, what about you, Anthony?
Say I liked my role play with Miss Williams, but I don't think it was helpful.
To be fair, does it really have to be helpful to be exemplary?
That's a fair point. I mean, you guys did go and talk to her.
Oh, they talked to her.
Yeah. And again, you didn't because Nicholas doesn't want anything to do with her.
No, she's a liar and a cheat.
You gotta read between the lines.
Between the lines are that she's evil. I don't see how you guys don't get that.
Well, it doesn't sound like you guys are raising a very good case here.
Trying to say, who else did we roleplay with?
The old man.
The old man?
The father.
I feel like the old
Williams. Each other.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, role-playing also counts for each other.
It's true. That is a true fact. Oh, okay, you know what? For Kiana's interviewing, or Gemma's interviewing both Daniel and somewhat Margaret, I think that should count. If anything...
Hey, caffeinated, I take offense to that. Why don't I get a cutie point?
You're not a cutie, apparently. Anthony, for being the salesman that you are, even when you're not selling stuff at the church, that might count.
I did promote a bakery that doesn't exist yet.
Oh hell. Let's give you guys more experience so that you can get into more trouble. Go ahead and take that.
More dots, more botches, bigger explosions.
Alright, focus. Belief and practice are so important to a mage, a player who really gets into their way their character performs magic, who plays up their mage's beliefs, details their practices, and uses their instruments in cleverly appropriate ways. I do want to say Nicholas kind of gets this one off the bat for me as well, because of the use of his doctor's bag full of tools on multiple occasions today. I feel like that should be rewarded. Making a tincture for an old man. And then also we helping...
did all work together to try to find a way to do the ritual in a way that fit all of us.
Yeah. I felt like my idea of using the water from the fountain was a really clever one for what we were doing. Not to mention, I tried to put a little bit more flavor into the whole, like, faith healing thing.
Hmm.
Even if that didn't come across the best. I should have stated beforehand that I was casting, but I don't know.
Well, then let's have you guys get some more experience from that. I don't think anyone takes a heroism point today.
I think the heroism is for next session.
Hopefully. We'll see. And we're not at the end of a story. I think there's a good potential for another bit of downtime in the future to start to think about what you'll want those experience points to be for when we reach there. Otherwise, what were you guys' feelings about today? Oh, I apparently never changed this back to the woods on you guys. You've been in the church the whole time.
Oh jeez.
My feelings are that I continue to be vindicated about Miss Williams.
I feel like I had a good time with the sesh.
It was definitely a good session. I believe
Yeah.
Nicholas is getting very frustrated with his two companions, though.
Yes, I can tell. It's starting to rub off on me too, particularly how Yana is very much not a fan of how he is trying to insinuate that she's just going along with Miss Williams, or that she even agrees with Miss Williams.
And stop agreeing with Miss Williams.
Oh. Alright, I'm gonna have to
To
look up the
agree
rules
to-
on PvP then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's going to
Well,
be
I
an
don't know if
interesting
that's
fight one
maybe.
day.
it's actually
It's going to
same
be like
rules, but
One Touch Man versus, I don't know.
yeah, you're just gonna get suplexed to death.
I'm either going to touch her and she's going to rot to death, or she's going to like punch me and my head's going to fly off.
Don't worry, I can call out where the weak spots are.
Yes, don't worry about that. Just keep things away from your jugular and your heart. That
And-
could kill you if someone stabs you in the brain.
Anthony, you'll just play both sides to come out on top.
As he always does.
I mean, I'm friends with both, so it's okay. One friend will win.
It's okay if one friend kills the other. I still have a friend.
Exactly.
Well,
By the way, oh no, never mind. I'll ask that after stream.
okay. Well, in that case then, I think we will wrap up the episode. I'll end the recording here before figuring out what we're putting up on our wall of memories. So, anything you guys want to say in closing to those watching at home?
Have a great day and thanks for watching.
Good day, good night.
All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Remember, take care of yourself and take care of those around you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.